早晨啊，咁多位，早晨，早晨，我哋今日終於嚟去玩翻呢一個我老細加班台嘅遺珠啊！我見到你哋 Telegram group 話咩遺珠係冇錯，呢一個係我哋原定係喺加班台嗰度玩嘅，但係因為加班台當時就即係主要我哋節目豐富啦，咁冇玩到，而家咧就過嚟呢一邊玩啦。早晨，早晨。咁多位係啦，咁我哋今日玩嘅呢一隻 game 就係呢個 Slay the Princess 係啦，就係呢個 Slay the Princess 啦，係啦，就係咁樣樣。老師遲到，Sensei冇遲到啊？Sensei邊度有遲啊？Sensei冇遲啊？Sensei會準時啊？黐線係咪都話遲嚇？仲有喺度嗌添，喺度俾説話啦。好啦，今日呢個我想講啲咩咧？今日呢一個咧就係係文本 game 嚟嘅，好似係，但係其實我唔係好 sure 佢係實際上玩啲咩咯。我上網有睇過下嘅，然後我有開 game 有呢個測試過下，即係 game 到底係點樣樣嘅，係啦。咁佢就話係恐怖 game 咯，我唔知啦，係啦。咁但係我幾期待咯，係啦，我期待佢一隻唔需要令到我用太多腦嘅 game 啦吓。好啦，咁同大家講咗早晨先啦，早晨。多謝 Elvin 做同學仔，多謝你做會員啊，係啦，多謝你做同學仔。早晨，早晨小善，早晨 CKC， 早晨 Morning， 早晨 Beatrice， 早晨 K 仔雲吞，早晨阿毛，早晨卡倫浩，早晨加班台只係大家好心，都係。早晨咖啡有無糖，早晨 Miss G， 早晨 Wilbur， 早晨 Sandy， 早晨阿 Min， 早晨 Cici River， 早晨 Chilai， 早晨 Color Hall， 早晨 CKC， 咩 Elvin 老 best 啊？ Matthew 啊，早晨 Kathy， 唔係咩水，唔係咩水魚2.0咧，呢邊真係相當之唔水魚啊！呢邊5蚊嘅會費限量，呢個咩啊？5蚊嘅會費就係象徵住呢個台珠澳嘅對大家嘅愛啊！5蚊嘅會費嚇，呢個好大嘅愛啊！早晨。唔係咩水魚2.0啦，並不是啦，而家係低級水魚，並不是。早晨明咯，早晨 Matthew 係叫你啊，啱先叫你啊。好啦，anyway， 我哋今日就嚟玩呢一個嘅 Slay the Princess， 就係咁樣啦，Sensei你老細跳舞好叻，你哋一班親朋戚友愛看小孩自學表演了。好啊，要好好學啊，真係，我都係認同，係絕對要好好學嘅，唔好好似我老細咁樣就得噶啦。好啦，我哋點都好啦，我哋開始做先啦，不如，等我睇下先。我哋今日可以用呢個 set up 嚟玩。睇睇，點解我咁細粒嘅？睇，我唔知你哋有冇發覺，我較細粒咗我自己，少細粒咯。我較細粒咗我自己，因為要 fit 翻呢個凳嘅比例，要 fit 翻呢張凳嘅比例，所以我較細咗少少，但係好似都 OK， 係嘛？得再教下我個人先，唔好意思啊。搞掂。本細咗好多，本冇細到啦，邊有細到啊？邊有細到啊？咁都話細，睇開啲咩啊？睇開我老細，你睇開啲咩？咁樣都話細，黐線，唔細噶啦，大家唔細噶啦。等等啊，我要開隻 game 俾你哋先。佢呢隻 game 咧，我唔知佢有冇全螢幕咯。係啦，我希望佢有啦，但係如果佢冇嘅話咧，咁我都冇辦法噶啦，搞不清楚啦。等等啦，我轉頭會再教個視窗大細嘅。本作是愛情故事喎。佢啱先我話恐怖 game 嚟嘅，佢又話係恐怖 game， 咁係咪啊？如果係嘅話，咁我視窗啦。你係等一等啊！我都係教視窗先，視窗好啲。有冇得識 jump scare？ 我其實唔 sure 呢一隻 game 有冇 jump scare 咯。因為佢始終係一隻文本 game， 文本應該係滿塊。係咯，我唔知喎。閃匿影像可唔可以熄咗佢啊？我驚，算啦，都係唔好。好啦，我哋開始啦喎，Slave the Princess， 你好嘔心啊！你哋咩 slave 啊 ？slay it。Hello,
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
定係你哋覺得咧，我個人
And in the basement of that
張凳會唔會好啲啊？
cabin is a princess.
有張凳都 OK 嘅。OK。
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
OK。世界會滅亡，你覺得？佢呢一度原來有嘢㗎。等，大家。你曾經想過公主毀滅世界，係咪就係因為你哋囚禁佢？殺死公主似乎唔係一個良善之舉，唔可以由其他人做呢一樣嘢，我不幹，我可以接受世界滅亡。係 係咯，會唔會就係因為你囚禁
While
佢
I
啊？
appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking
色
clock.
為之手冇啊冇啊冇啊！嗰隻手我哋而家冇啊，並沒有。
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she is dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that,
Okay.
let me suggest a more
白雪呢個名
pragmatic
好難
lens
聽，
through
有
which to
冇
view
張
this
凳？
situation.
有冇張凳今日都有機會講啲節目啊？係喎
Causality
係
doesn't
喎
matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
OK， 即係最呢一隻 game 係嚇唔可以俾佢離
It's
開
no
木屋
use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
去木屋先咯。
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
一下我哋嗱，其實我哋可以將我哋個人成個抬高，得啦，我哋可以將我哋去到呢一個位嘅嚇，我哋今日嗰啲嘢，我哋可以咁樣去分配。唔好意思，俾你哋望到我呢個台底下嘅我添，唔好意思啊，唔好意思，俾你哋望到張凳添，疏，唔好意思，得，咁樣會唔會好啲啊？嚇，咁樣會唔會好啲啊？腳，你哋想睇我隻腳啊？想下咯。
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
抬
Ignore
高
him.
自己
He
就
doesn't
對
know
唔
what
住
he's
班
talking about.
或者其實我哋有另外一個 option 可以冇咁多。等啊，我喺度諗嘅方法有冇辦法令到嗱，一係我哋用我哋用另一個 set up。我較細啲有個人，我哋用翻呢一個應該會好啲喎。咁樣咯，好唔好啊？咁應該係當得最少噶啦，好唔好啊？好唔好啊？嚇，收埋嗰兩嚿就係膝頭哥，做乜抹到隻腳咁？唔係啊，真係好大嘅真心，真心好大嘅，大家聽我解釋啊！我個胸係真心好大，咁樣啦 ，OK。死啦！我好似冇得點睇啊，啱先講咗啲咩？The
interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
You
take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
有把英勇嘅聲叫你救公主。哦。
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp.
真係運喺地牢喎，大家。呢個係真點運喺地牢喎。
Slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
英勇嘅聲音嚟嘅喎。
It's all part of the manipulation. Good. You're still listening to reason.
好煩啊！又喺度抽我一
You
族。
walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
係咪老細俾
There's
飽
a
飯
heavy
食？
chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
陳小威入對我好好㗎，大家。 眼神咁 OK。
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
哦，我話冇決定
How
咯。
about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
放低先咯，一
Look how
係。
reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her.
係咯，
Maybe she really is a monster.
係咯，同佢傾
Killing
咗先
someone
咯
in。cold
哇！
blood
佢呢
isn't
度係
very
有
becoming
呢
of
個
us.
魔鬼魔鬼嘅聲音，同埋呢個天使嘅聲音噶喎。佢呢一度係。
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an
佢
unceremonious
矮喎
clang.
Thank you.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
OK。
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
啱啱先講公主係魔女嚟，我要點帶你離開？你叫咩名啊？
She hesitates before answering.
愛情
You
故事嚟
can
㗎嘛？呢
address
個
me
係
as your Royal Highness or Her Majesty. Any
嚇
order that
OK
should do,
OK，
really.
即係唔同我講名啦
Note the lack of detail. You
喎，係咯，
can't
唔同我
trust
講
her.
名啦
Too long.
Again, she offers no
Okay.
specifics. No,
喎，係喎，佢又真係含糊帶過喎。
don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained
Hello?
to a wall?
係咯，
Have they told you why I'm allegedly so
串串地殺啊，
dangerous
越靚嘅越毒。
Princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another
點解
life.
佢幫個 princess 答㗎？點解佢幫
She
佢答
knows
㗎？
what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks
呢
you
個女人要
want
人
to
救
hear.
就仲咁串，唔係啊，其實佢冇要人救啊，佢係唔要你，佢係唔要你殺佢啫嘛。
I don't think I can answer that question in a way you'd find meaningful. At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on
係咯，
down
真係
here
喎。
is about
呢個佢又覺得
trust.
啱喎，呢一個
Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell
係
me
咯，個旁白都
why.
冇講原因啊。
That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
正常冇人會問個公主喺地牢。
So, I could tell
又
you
唔
that
係
I
啊，
lead
我
a
覺得
quiet
如果
life
係
in the
以前
woods,
嗰個
or
世
that
紀
I'd
嘅
open
事，
an
咩事都會發
orphanage,
生
or that
啊。
I'd do any other number of
Huh.
good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
ouch 係喎。呢隻 game 用晒死嗰個啊！算啦，你哋今日嘅 comment 係咪要掉走佢啦？冇計啊，大家。大家今日我哋唔好用 comment 啦，我哋掹走呢個 comment 位佢啦，冇辦法啊，因為佢真係用晒每一個角落位啊，大家唔好意思啊嚇，我哋今日掹走個 comment 位佢。
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth
放喺個
anything.
point。
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me? The prisoner, the victim.
係咯，真係
The
喎。
princess clearly incapable of ending the world. Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person.
暴
And a
君
subjugating
乜嘢暴
monarch,
君
no
啊？
less.
？Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
OK，
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't,
OK，
well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting.
切咗隻手佢啊！
Right? She is. I'm sure of it.
公主喺地牢，因為佢睇緊你啲褲。乜鬼嘢
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
大家我有個 idea，我諗緊要唔要直接殺咗個公主佢？大家定係嗱咁講嘅，大家我覺得我自己覺得咧，如果直接殺咗個公主咧，應該就 end game 嘅，係啦。但係我哋可以 end game 完，跟住再試其他 option 嘅。你哋想咧？你哋想咧？你哋或者係我哋可以救個公主出去，係啦，唔係嗱咁講啦。我覺得救或者殺咧，都應該係會點講好咧？我覺得無論救或者殺都應該係會 end game 嘅，係啦。但係我哋 end game 完可以再玩，然後試下第三個 option 咯。你哋想咧？女人何苦為難女人？一留戶口嗱，我俾你哋揀啦，呢個殺唔殺？俾你哋揀，俾你哋揀 ，show no mercy。嗱，我哋1分鐘內啦，我哋1分鐘投票啦，好唔好？我哋去到23分就停呢個投票。哇！你哋大部分人都係想殺咯，喂，極到狗喎！23分我哋就完個投票啦。23分咯已經。算啦，我覺得你哋都係會想殺噶啦，我送公主上路啦。
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle.
吓？
She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
喂，唔係八婆食屎喎，我哋食屎喎，大家。
We shouldn't have hesitated. But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes
喂，唔係喎，但係
feeling
我哋
like
隻
a
手係咁
pickaxe
嘅喎，大
against your
家。
fracturing bones, making sure as you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor. The princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you
係
didn't
咯，好
think
好
her
打
slight frame
喎
could。possibly possess.
等
As you
陣
gasp
先，
for
我突然
air,
間
she
諗緊，
eyes you
其實會唔
with
會
an
我哋係
intense
怪物，
curiosity.
公主係人？怪物嘅視覺就係會覺得呢一個公主就係會，即係公主如果放咗公主出嚟咁
You
係咯。
shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little
呢個唔
disappointed.
索嚟，煮餐餅喎。
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your
Hello.
life out of your lungs. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
點
You're
解要
on a
chapter 2 啊
path？ in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay
嚇？
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've
哦
just met for the first
Huh?
time, you and I. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again. She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much...
OK， 嗱，我哋今次試下隻嘅隊先。
warning. Before you go, she will lie. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her. And stop. Can we tone down the... I'm not being a pessimist. You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering and whatever you do, don't... I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't real... So please try... If that's what you want.
嗱，我哋一係就咩？佢咁點俾人捉咁好武功？唔係咁可能好多個人咧。
larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a map. The blade is... Why do we feel so... We don't feel small. We are small.
嚇？
You take the blade from the... You walk up to the wall. What are you talking about? This is... You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope we should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
我哋係高布林嚟喎，大家。我哋先係
The
高布
door
林
to the
喎。
basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Huh. This is actually... It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming.
係咯，
She wasn't
上次
like
唔
this
係咁
last
喎
time.
嚇？
We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago, you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to.
高布林 X 公主呢啲你睇好
It
多唔
doesn't
想
matter
知
what
啊！
that little voice says. He's not. Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
Wow,
The
how's it
chain
looking?
is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You've brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless.
Huh?
Such charming audacity. Drop it.
As if on command, the blade slips from your
嚇！我
grasp.
握得緊緊
It
㗎啦
clatters
喎。
uselessly to the floor, but we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade. Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
嚇
Kneel.
嚇！I'm gonna kill that bitch.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me?
Let's be honest, I'm gonna kill this
said
bitch.
kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit
Okay.
the floor.
That's my good little
你guys go
bird.
嚇
Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me
OK。
since the moment I squeezed the life out of your broken lungs.
你話你說我注定會毀滅世界，我冇啊！
I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me.
喂，等陣先，我唔通唔想屈咗佢啊？
The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is now is overdue for
喂，而家唔好講話咩高布林 X 公主啦，係我哋俾個公主 X 喎，依家。
It's time for me to seize my destiny. And you, little bird, will help me seize it.
Well, that gives away the game, doesn't it? It certainly does. And beyond that, it more than lends credence to our conversation in the woods. I don't love the thought that in some other reality you failed to destroy her, but what's done is done. You are the only one who can deal with her. And if you don't, Well, she's let you know what will happen, hasn't she? Then you shouldn't have trusted us with her destruction. She is
躲不
inevitable.
過的劫喎。
Can't you feel it? He's being melodramatic, but he's not exactly wrong, is he? What are we
呢個
supposed to
XP
do
個
to
仲要
stop
咩
her?
有抽完
Okay.
抽完
First things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be done.
呢個
The stakes
OK
of the situation should be perfectly clear to
個
everyone
旁拍真
now.
係 standing problem
If
穿
you're
越
going to
過
save the
嚟，我
world, you have to
冇
have
我冇
faith that
睇
you
過
can
啊
pull。this off.
哦 OK， 你可以開創自己嘅未來。OK， 我唔可以俾你咁樣做。我試下直接殺。如果真係假設真係有啲咩，我哋從頭再嚟啊。如果well
Perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she... No objections here.
no objection here， 個旁白都俾佢洗咗腦
I
啊！
don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade. As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits
嚇佢
unperceived.
咁我可以點啊？
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
係咯，應該問得越多越唔掂。
Stand.
啊等陣先，嗰個 needle 原來係 blade 咁解。
This one's
OK
easy. See? This isn't so bad.
但係點解佢要我投
Okay,
誠啊？
yeah. We can do that.
個公主
We
咁
were
癲
probably
係
going to
咯。
stand anyway. You can feel a creaking tension between body and will
不過
as
佢
you
上面有
slowly
其他
rise
option
to
話
your
咩永遠
feet,
跪喺度
like
嘅。
two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation
Okay.
of what's to come dragging out the
係精
long...
神控制
To
咗咯。
define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not.
哇！但係如果我哋係哥布林嘅話，
You are
其實係咪
quite
我哋應該要死啊？
While I take
真係
that
一個
knife in your hand and slit your throat.
No please
What?
what？
You don't have to listen to her. You're...
終結者一齊似係自殺喎，但係
Oh, we'll end this all right.
一睇就
Your
知公
hand
主係
lifts
反
the
派
blade
啊！
and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
送公主上
Your
路啦，
body
但
is
係
sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at...
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy. But it seems you're in need of a
喂，個公主
harsher
好似好勁
lesson.
喎！
Plunge that knife into your lungs.
I'm sorry.
嚇
As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It somehow feels like an
Someone did
entirely
not find
natural
him
thing to do,
fair.
while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the
喂點
fresh
算啊
orifice.
嚇？
Blood
其
fills
實你哋
your
係咪條
lungs.
龍以前就係公主俾條巨龍捉佢女，而家調翻轉，我唔知啊，我唔知啊嚇！佢公主成個暴風落
Do
係
it
喎，
again.
係喎，
Doing
係
it
喎，係
until
喎。
I give you permission to stop.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Those are just
We are
words
so fucked,
you don't
okay?
have to listen to.
嚇！
It's what she wants. You,
喂，我
heroic
崩
one,
潰
what are
咗
you
喎
doing?！Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it. Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. But the blade still flails.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird.
喂，到底係邊個韞佢喺度㗎？韞佢嗰個，你可唔可以自己懟冧埋佢啊？
It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end.
喂，其實講
You
真，有
can
冇得？
choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next. Or You can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your futility.
You continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement.
好核突啊！
You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand. My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best...
You're the one
我唔
making
知係罰佢定係罰我係咯。
You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want...
Stop.
As you finish crossing the room, you
哇！但係
fall
公
to
主好似
your
好
knees
正
at the
喎。
princess's feet.
不如
Your
算啦，我
chest
哋求
heaving
情啦，
as
不
your
如。
blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks
嚇
to me.
啟發咗佢罰 OK。
You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death. There's a place at my side for you, if you'll have it. Not as an equal, but as something worthy to be kept.
公主靚過
A
頭先，
priest,
係咯，
perhaps, or a pet.
做咗群個仔
Well,
喎，
that's demeaning, isn't it? Yes, how thoughtful of her.
要唔要懟埋佢啊
It's？a mercy. Take it.
懟唔懟啊？懟唔懟？
I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what
算
it
啦，
takes
我
to
決
put
定
an end，to
我
her.
決定不如咁啦，我哋呢一
Seize
個
the
我哋 keep 住
moment
隊啦，我哋
before
keep
it's
住
too
隊睇下
late.
睇下會點啊？我哋 keep 住隊。
Yes. Though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of
Oh!
the princess's
Tới rồi
overwhelming
à?
will, you finally manage to break through, darting to her side before she can react. The wind of your freedom rushes through you,
Yeah!
and you channel it into a decisive
Ah,
blow,
what the
stabbing
fuck?
into the soft flesh of her ankle
Huh?
and severing
Okay.
the tendons in an act of unyielding
喂，唔係喎
defiance.
，work 喎，work 喎。
She falls to the floor, crashing unceremoniously to her knees. But you don't
Mà
give
bữa
her
à?
any time to recover, your heart pounding with determination.
喂，但係阿
plunge
公主
your
好
blade
大
into
嚿喎，
her
原來阿公
chest.
主好大隻，喂，我真係高布林嚟嘅喎。
As you find
Oh,
your
đây có bộ-
target again and again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking
À,
through her
công
once
chúa
slim
kiểu đi hai hai để
figure
rồi
as
mà.
your blade cuts her flesh. We can do this, can't we? You always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly.
公主原來灰姑娘嚟啊！我唔知係公主好大波定係點？公主很大啊吓！
It's not too late to toss that blade aside.
喂，行開啦！
I can't believe you would actually strike me. You heathen! You worm! You defiler! You don't know the consequences of your arrogance!
會點啊？
Before you can strike the final blow,
Ah?
the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet.
公主又對得冧我咯
There's an
喎
unsettling wet
！Oh
pop
my
as your
god！
spine breaks, numbness and pain spreading through your body.
喂，公主！
As you rebound
公
towards
主
the
好
ceiling in a
臭
moment
得
of disorientated
喂，
lightness,
公主！
she
喂，然之後
drives
公主
her
好
fist
臭得
into your
喎！
chest.
早晨，阿軒。
Your
喂，唔
body
係
is
喎，阿公主。
crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground
咁抽
itself
得打條毛啊！
breaking from the impact. You lie there, broken, beyond pain, unable to even see what she's done to you. But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled.
嚇！真係
What have
我
you
傷害
done
佢
to
會
me?
搞得佢。
You're monsters and conspirators. I can't bear.
The princess has been nothing but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her fall.
But I don't feel liberated.
其實我覺得係唔應該殺個公主嘅咯，但係我都唔知。
Aside from the pain, I feel fine. She collapses to the floor. Her glassy eyes watch, unblinking, yet somehow still
我
full
拎
of
咗個
anguish and fear.
achievement 係呢個
As
識
the two
神
of you
者啊！
perish together.
我殺咗佢咯喎，我殺
I
咗公
suppose
主
we
咯
were never
喎。
gonna get a happy ending here, were we? Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something,
哦，
I guess.
哦。
Regardless of how you feel about it, it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Furry, OK。
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of the path... Okay, what the hell is that?
我讀詩啊 ，sorry， 我以
I
為
think he's upset.
弑神者
What's he got to be upset about? We just killed a god.
吓，即係其實個公主係個神嚟嘅，得 Where 入邊啊？
Exactly. You heathens destroyed the most beautiful thing that ever was and ever will be.
OK，
I can't say I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us, and you almost got us killed. You're being too generous. He did get us killed. All right, enough chatter. Got a thing I'm supposed to do, and if you don't mind, I'd like to do it without any more interruptions. Okay, great, you're listening.
但係其實我真係覺得要玩一次係冇殺到個公主
If
，OK。
your thing is telling us about the princess, don't waste your breath. We know all about
係咯，
her.
呢度都係咪
Look,
心？
if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return.
唔會再有
Whatever
重
happens
來
next,
嘅機
that's
會。
it. There won't be any more do-overs. So
Okay.
you'd better take things seriously.
So what if I'm speaking my mind? It's not.
What a crock of shit.
誒，仲有
you
多把
stabbed
聲
us
喎。
last time. It didn't even work. We died. You didn't submit to her. For all we know,
That's the punishment you all deserved for not listening to her.
aside from our sulking friend, I don't think we have much to worry about. Second he tries something, I'll put a stop to it.
OK，
Good. We're all on the same page.
又變翻做間木屋咯
It
喎。
isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll
嗱，
find
我
the
哋今
princess
次就
within.
堅定地懟佢啦，好嘛？
No final words of it. I'd rather not waste any.
Okay.
There's still a princess at the cabin.
Oh, cut it out, will you? We need.
嗱，我哋今次就好堅定
The
地懟
interior
咗
of
佢
the
啦，好
cabin
唔
is a
好？
place that feels long forgotten. There was once an elegance to
嚇，
its
呢一個係木
construction.
屋嚟㗎。
Carved marble columns holding a high arched roof, vaulted wind, but that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A
我
viscous
懷疑
fluid
係咪
seeps
我哋分
through
咗幾
cracks
個
in the
時代
stone
懟咗
walls,
先啊？可以用
and
咩
it
懟佢？
congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing soul. You
Wait a
did
minute,
this. The only furniture of note is a pulsating. The blade is your...
OK， 攞起
Take
把
the
匕
blade
首
from the
先啦。
pedestal. Good.
好啦，我哋
Step
直
forward
接
and
去。
approach the door to the basement. All we see, it really is just like last time.
Smash it. Smash it to pieces.
Don't you want to know what we'll see in there? Nah, I'm with him on this one. Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time.
Ethan Real 喎，
You
擦乾
reach
淨啦
forward
咁
and。drag your hand across the door leading to the basement.
係咯，
As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor. Its
豪
ancient
裝公屋。
hinges and moanings it
唔
reveals
係
the
喎，
dim
但係
path ahead.
入邊好唔
Why
掂
am
喎
I
個
not
窿，
surprised?
個窿
You
好
step
唔掂
forward
喎。
into the darkness. The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. The high vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom
Hello,
beyond your
TCY.
sight,
Hello, Maki.
while walls wet
Hello,
with
hello.
tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your
Okay.
sides. The air is thick, its odour an oppressive violence. The metallic scent of fresh blood, her voice a bellowing rage.
哎呀，嬲
Was
啦！
severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to rend my divine heart? Come, see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh. See
Hello,
how
honey.
you've soured my once
She's so angry with us.
到底係點樣啊？喺度食翻個人
Got to stop thinking about her like that. She's not some untouchable god. She's an
佢
anomaly.
冧佢咯，我哋今次對冧佢咯
Whatever。she is now is our fault. If she's an abomination, then what does that
係
mean?
咯，真係
She
喎。
was going to end the world last time. If I might interject, you didn't make her into an abomination. She's always been what she is. It's why you're
Okay.
here.
佢本身就係咁樣。
It's why your task is
其
so-
實我覺得個公主係咪神嚟㗎？
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. The chamber's walls are painted in blood. A deep, sickening red that drips down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning blood. The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin.
What I'm going to do to you.
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. And then, with a nauseating sound, the skin tears. It plops to the ground, and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings. She is loose, and she is coming for you. Let her end it. Screw that. We can win. We've done it before and we'll do it again, only this time we'll make it out the other side. Hell, she's practically done most of the work for us. Heart free of fear, you charge towards the princess, your eyes locked on each other, both of you prepared to lay down your very essence in one blow. It's now or never. Let's make it a beautiful blaze of glory. You are unwound. No, that's our stuff. She can't just do that. She just did.
You should all just be grateful she's decided to keep us alive.
We're not out for the count just yet. Skin flayed and organs flapping, you charge towards the princess.
Holy.
That's right. She'll never stop us.
Still you defy your god. I've made the mistake of underestimating your resolve before. Never again.
What's left of you explodes. So that's it. It's over. Just like that.
Of course it's over.
This is the final note of your discordant melody. You will not return again, because you will live in that single tone forever.
No! It's not over! We're a god killer! We've returned from...
Didn't you hear her? We're not dead.
What's the difference? From many perspectives, there isn't one. But functionally, that is, from your perspective, the difference is massive. You are entirely laid bare, spread to each corner of the room. Yet you are wholly aware of the state you're in. Incapable of movement, but entirely capable of perception. In fact, perceiving your state is the only thing you can currently do. You are preserved. Perfectly. In the amber of her torment. We're more than this. Absolutely not. I refuse to let you just decide to die with your task unfinished. If you die here, the world is doomed.
Your Honor,
where the hell are you? Are you already at the princess? This place is different. Rotten. Death all around us. I want to go back.
So you've returned already, and I remain here. Is this our final destination?
The princess tilts her head to look at you, and with a gesture, you are unwound. Again? Already?
Clearly I left you with too much room last time. Perhaps this cell will hold you better.
You know what to do. Again. Your Honor, she's gorgeous. Absolutely divine. Guy describes things. You better start saying what you do this time. And attacking her, obviously. Right. You charge towards the princess and...
There is no spark in you. Only matter devoid of life.
You explode. Again.
You're
on a path. We are not on a fucking path. I have no idea where we are. We're in the middle of a fight, so act like it. So you are. Okay. You dive towards the princess and we're unwound. Yes, her head swivels creakily on her neck, fire in her eyes as your
我
body
搞唔清楚件事係
unravels
發生咩事喎？注視着你嘅身體劇烈嘅痛楚中四分五裂喎，我俾人分屍再分屍喎，而家係。我重新
No
了。
time. You narrate now.
Yes, of course. Pristine blade grasped firmly in your hands, you fly towards the princess before she can turn to face
咁
you.
不如重玩，好迷喎。
You might actually do it this time.
Feel that body of yours slicing through the air. How many more times will I have to scatter you?
As she turns towards you, the very essence of your being begins to flake away.
不過我覺得我死嘅咯。
It's just a body.
It just needs to last long enough to sink this blade into her
你哋
heart.
都唔明係咯？
It doesn't last.
你嘅身體受唔住瓦解，OK，
Everything goes dark.
但係唔存在嘅你無法死亡，係咯？咁點啊？
How many times do I need to pulverize you before you finally
佢係咪
understand?
通過呢個第四洞牆
Nothing.
同嗰度講
An
嘢係
empty
咪？
void that dared to dream it was alive.
我係虛空之物嚟喎，我係。
That feels right.
If we're nothing, then why are we still here?
係咪人格分裂咗？人格分裂咗好耐
Because
㗎啦，
we
應該。
always have been. If we're nothing, then how can we do anything? The same way we always have. Being nothing has never stopped us. Now end this.
You cannot win if you cannot be.
OK，佢似係都係會俾我殺喎。
I've scattered the atoms you clung to and there was nothing there to find. You can't exist.
佢應該係講緊我哋係嘛？連嗰啲絲線喎，我哋係攞啲咩絲線嚟刺穿咗佢嘅心臟，攣埋佢嘅靈
It's
魂。
over.
OK，
Oh, I think I understand you now. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do the things I did to you. I don't think I knew what I
但
was
係
doing.
我覺得其實我覺得唔應該殺個
She
公主咯，但係
sounds
我唔知啊。
genuine.
但係我都係會即係 well，但係我
They
哋
always do in the end.
It's cold, but I'm going to be okay, right?
I don't know。哇吓？
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
係咪去睇翻我哋啊？係嘛？紅白
He
都
is. He was never going to outlast us.
The world didn't end.
I'm begging you, don't.
我哋係咪變得好？
This doesn't
定
feel
係我哋
right.
會變
It
咗
feels
做公主啊？
different.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
Ignore the cowards. You have
係咯，照
to
鏡咯
look.。
哇！我哋係哥布林嚟喎，但係好迷喎。我依家我個公主個公主仲未死㗎。
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel. I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
OK。哇！我應該自己懟佢哋點啊？定係問多兩句？問多兩句好似好啲喎。
How can the world have ended if we are talking? You are the only thing I have ever
謎
known.
語人。
The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. Yes, nerves and fibers to feel. This one is desecration. She placed the weight of her agony on you, yet it is she who unwound herself. Do not mourn her. She has finally found peace.
攻擊佢咯咁。
My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we are now.
我哋對唔到喎，直接對冇咁多愧疚感。
There's nowhere for you to be but here. You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope.
Okay.
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here. Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us.
OK，
and
越
that
問越
we
愧
are
疚，
meant
最
to
尾唔
reach
好啊！
them. There is no exit, but this
但係口
vessel
唔
is
到
a
啊！依
creature
家
of
殺唔到
perception.
啊！
She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to.
知覺嘅造物。
Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
啊
You ask of things that cannot be
毀滅
done.
只係重塑再做。OK。
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling, and I...
OK。哦 OK。
She asks that I tell you to remember her.
嚇？
You won't.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
要
You're
唔要
here
而
to
家開
slay
始
him.
送？我撳完鍵盤 tap 係睇唔到嘅。大家，我哋今次不如試下一嚟就對啊！我哋試下一嚟就對啊！大家好唔好？我
You
哋
make your way a warning.
嗱，我哋試下
She will
真係一
not
嚟就
let
對
her，ignore.
好唔好？
The interior blade. You take the
我哋試下
her
一嚟就
voice.
對，好唔好？
She sounds. Don't let it. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the steps. She's so focus on the task.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
試下
That isn't a good idea.
She's right. We should. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can. You ignore the trembling in your hands.
試下
Tighten
先，
your-
我哋試下一嚟
Poor
就對。
thing.
You step forward.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
嗱，
She's
如果我
armed.
今次都係俾佢
If
踢
you
嘅話咧，
hesitate now, it'll be too late.
Then I'm not talking to you.
試下直接
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all needed. It feels like you've been hit with a... Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the
Hold
princess on
on!
somewhat equal footing.
好唔到啊！
Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with
但
your
我都
body
打到
as
佢喎，
many
今
times
次
or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around. You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the
哇，
situation.
即
Honestly,
有少少
it's a
squeeze
miracle
喎，我
I'm
都
still
覺得或者
standing.
個公主其實好
Can you
勁
feel
喎
those
嚇！
ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our
即係
friend
依家
in
又
her
係我
set,
同我
the
公
two
主
of you
互懟啦
push
，OK，
for the
我
final
殺到
time.
啦，我殺到
You
係嘛
feel？ your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling full.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp
咦，
as her
佢真係
lungs
死咯喎！
start
今
to
次
fill
今次
with
一嚟
fluid.
就死咯，好似
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder,
佢嘗試令我愧疚啦！依家
do you really think
我
this
唔
is
係
the
喎，
end?
唔係喎。
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
人哋食過野粥，你食過碗仔翅。睇下先，咦敵手，
You're
哎
on a
今次
path
轉
in
咗
the- You're
喎。
here to
OK，
a
我哋唔好
warning
問得。
before you go any further. She will lie. Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight. Are you sure about that? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in.
OK，
It was to give you, the princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. Crystal.
OK， 今次好似唔係宮殿咯喎，但係今次都仲係木屋嚟嘅喎，定係入到去會變宮殿呢
The？ cabin is tighter than
Huh?
its exterior would
哦，
suggest.
即係佢一
The
定會係
blade
咁
is your
喎，
implement.
一定係會有3個
You'll need it if
chapter
you want to
喎。
do this.
我拿起個匕首，
You take
我哋唔好睇啦。嗱，我哋真係懟好冇？連續發燒幾日，而家瞓覺，
the
早
door
唞啦，
to
早
the
唞。
basement creaks open,
Take
revealing
care.
a rough stone staircase. Her fierce
流
voice.
黃
Is
嘅聲
that
喎。
another challenger? Finally.
哇，佢
It's
好
been
嘈喎
ages。since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Good. As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, as you descend the final step,
咦，今次
the
唔同
form
咗
of the
喎！佢
princess
直接
comes
變咗
into
形
view.
態喎
A。large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall.
如果我殺咗佢，佢就會個頭有角；如果我殺唔到佢，咁佢個頭就冇角。
Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I've been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us. And you brought your little knife, too. Yes. I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces.
再見，轉身離開。死啦！我少少想試下轉身離開喎，佢係咪走唔到呢？殺佢定係轉身離開？我覺得問呢一啲問題佢都答我唔到，佢應該會講啲好圓嘅嘢咯。嗱，走佬定係殺口佢？好啦，我哋今次堅定地捅佢啦。
Good. With a singular focus, you launch off the whetstone floor of the basement and catapult yourself headlong towards the princess. Here we go. Let's make this count. Oh, we'll make it count, all right. You can feel flesh give way before a sudden impact blunts your momentum, your weapon tightly lodged in the bone of her arm. Pull it out. We'll try a different angle. No, we can do this. Just keep pushing. We're not gonna win if our weapon's stuck in her arm. You pull back on the blade's hilt, doing your best to free it from its sinewed prison. But as you tug the blade free, the princess slams you down onto her knee. It collides with your ribs, and you feel them splinter, cracking like wet wood from the impact. And you hit the floor, your ribs complaining painfully. But you can feel the hilt in your grip. You push yourself off the ground and attack the princess, trying to bait an opening. You do your best to outplay her, slashing out and leaving red cuts in the tattered remaining shoulders. Weak little dance isn't working. Just toughen up and overpower her. She's throwing us around like a ragdoll.
其實一定我哋最尾都係一定係會互相死亡喎。其實我哋要打嘅會唔會係旁白啊？講真，我哋會唔會其實我哋真正嘅敵人係旁白啊？咁但係你可以一下掟死人陳小游，你識？
Did you think you could stop me with a few cuts? All this dancing around is doing nothing but annoying me. I own this place, and I own you.
And I
Princess's arm shoots forward, her palm wrapping around your head, fingers gripping your skull.
How disappointing.
She squeezes, the pressure unbearable as her fingers dig into your scalp. The last thing you hear is the unsettling crack of your skull. Everything goes dark, and you die.
嚇！我殺唔到啊！有敵出動喎，佢係為咗下個禮拜你已經買咗保險。
Path in the wood. If you weren't so damned afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have died back there. Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive. We died because you didn't have enough of it. So what? You'd have us cower in a corner? No, but that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and openings down there. We need more room if we're going to survive. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she manages to slip away, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included. Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on. It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still. It's good to know that at least one of you, we may have the same destination, but we're not the same. You are still an other, and I don't trust you. It's evidence of one of many ticking clocks. Things are always changing. She changed, the cabin changed, we've changed. Why wouldn't the woods change too? Because they're not supposed to have changed. This is supposed to be a path in the woods. If it's not, it means something's gone horribly. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought to your predicament. No last advice for us? No words of warning? From what I gather, you've heard, I don't know, script catharsis is when we're finished. The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight. More of a glorified tunnel than a building. The blade, see? We have even less space than before. We need space or she'll kill us. And the only space is out there. Take it! You take the blade from the good. There's no overcoming her without it. You step forward and approach. Always sees a bit crime. Bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. It swings open, scraping against the floor as it reveals the dim path ahead. Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but it will require careful effort. The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy. Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show.
Goad her, rile her up. If she's angry, she'll make mistakes.
That's not how this works. I'm all chained up, remember?
We'll need to show ourselves. Make her boil over and forget her metal bindings. Fine by me. you've nowhere to go but down.
你同個旁白嘅
You
愛情
start
故
the
事
difficult
，OK？
journey, gripping the
語言係咁
stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. Remember, every crack and crevice will need to be faster than her. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled,
princess變咗做
grins back at you.
魔
Her
鬼啊！
face widens into a broad grin.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling. Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my
我覺得唔可以
flesh,
直殺喎。
break your bones
啊，公主
against
應
my
戰鬥
body.
格咁
I
喎，直
want
殺
a
應該
real
唔得啊
challenge this time.
We can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not. Make her. I really don't like the sound of this.
我講咩啊？係啊，
It's the only way we live.
我都覺得係。
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're gonna do this right, you can't be scared. You
公
need
主
to
好
want
近火，
this
即係
as
你
much
咪
as
係
I
咯
do.。
啊，公主好似好想隻抽喎。
Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting. This again? What does free even mean? Here and there, none of that matters. I'm always in a body. I'm always in one place.
OK，
Why do you act like you know me better than I know myself? I had what I wanted. I had something perfect and it ended. And now that it's gone, you just keep dangling it in front of me. It's more than teasing. It's cruel. It's cowardly. It's selfish. I know what I want. And I'm sick of waiting.
你哋嗰個關注點，你哋嘅關注點就係佢好大心。
Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap. Run. Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards the tunnel entrance.
OK，吓？
As you near the top,
Holy，吓？
hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess
有冇
is
得喺呢
right
個位
on
度
your
踢佢
heels.
落去啊？踢翻佢落去得
Anywhere
唔得
you go, I will follow.
Good.
？Every follow。
You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel, the cabin door finally in sight, at once within your grasp and infinitely distant.
What is all of this for? What's the
Oh
point?
my God.
You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you be the same? Little bird, little bird.
We're almost there. Don't think about all, and we'll take the fight with. Your skin hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the. You glance
哇！
back
公
as
主
the
其實好
princess,
大嚿，
singular in
好
her
大
desire
份啊！
to
公
destroy
主
you, explodes through the doorway. You are walking a.
There's nothing left to slow me down. Do you think this is better for you? Do you think this space gives you an edge?
佢渴
Then
望我嘅
show
心。
me. Show me that you've been worth all the room you've taken up in my head.
Do it. Be swift.
Do it.
Strike true.
Do
Be
it.
where she's not.
Just
Let your
do
body
it.
move you. You leap from the grass and bound towards the princess, keeping low.
Charging me head on. Brave and foolish.
Her body braces
Oh,
for
that-
impact, anticipating the clash. That's where you're both wrong. Left, now! As the princess strikes, your body swerves to the left. She overextends, stumbling as her balance
yeah.
shifts unexpectedly.
哇！公主啲肌肉好掂喎！公主嗰啲肌肉吓，有冇 safe word 但係自己？
Strike.
喂，唔係喎，有一個問題，公主你睇下公主隻手臂先啦，喂，抽過陳小柔喎！
Before you can finish the thought, you lash
Oh my
out,
God.
the blade slicing through her leg. She turns to swing again. Right. You move out of the way, but this time it's not quite as clean. You can feel a bruise already blooming where her elbow crashed into flesh.
我真係覺得
A scratch.
喂，公主好包括，Dragon Age 嚟，喂唔係講真公主少包括，
And you managed to gift her another cut in return.
搞唔掂喎吓！
Damned. We're actually gonna pull this off, aren't we? You just might.
Yes, finally! This is the hole
Huh?
I felt in my heart. This is what I've needed.
What?
This is what I've been missing. This is how how it always needed to end. Both of us giving it our all.
The two of you engage in a devastating flurry of blows, each of you
我
using
變
the
咗做
other
MMA
again
喎，
and again.
是好係咯。
She's stronger, but you're faster.
喂，你
And
hold
the
佢嚟
deeper
喎
the both
嚇
of you fall into your lethal dance, the more your
What?
edge shines over hers. She's more. Keep going. We can't stop now. You spy an opening.
誒，識咗落去
She's
啦
waiting
喎。
for you. She lets you sink the blade deep, trapping you in
堅不
place
可
long
摧嘅
enough to
雙
wrap
臂
you in
啊！
her impenetrable arms. Nothing. These blows are nothing to us.
唔係咯 ，it's not nothing. It's hurt.
But her gambit wasn't enough to close the gap. It wasn't enough to kill you. She stares you down, coughing up a splash of blood as she gasps for breath.
嚇，公主仆 version 係咯，喂，好包喎佢。
You've outplayed me, haven't you?
嚇，係咯，我唔覺得係咯，佢俾我個感覺唔似係我捅咗佢，似係佢對波夾住咗我把刀啦。
Something feels wrong. Something.
And?
Something
Then what happened?
feel wrong 喎嚇，啊又嚟啦，有好多隻手啦嚇嚇。
She's gone. Where did she go? And there's that. But it feels so bad. That thing reeks of.
Screw the mirror.
Okay.
What
Huh?
is that supposed to mean? Whatever
Hello.
awful thing I felt. Death.
Screw that. This can't be the end. It just can't.
係喎。我腫脹了喎，佢話吓？我腫脹了喎，我都包咗喎，大家，我都包括。
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before.
陳小柔都腫
Whenever
脹
you are
了，
ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
佢知嘅喎，其實。
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspective.
其實我理解係
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
係喎。
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
哦，我
I
明
will
啦，
long
其
for
實
you
佢
to
係咪呢一隻
return,
game
but
咧？
it will give me time.
佢係咪我？Hello？
We will meet again.
水用嗰部嗱，我其實諗咗啦，我覺得呢個我哋係
You're on a path. You're here.
我覺得
You make your way up. A warning. She will. We're not going to ignore.
我哋試下唔好殺隻公主。
The interior of the cabin is almost. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this. The door to the basement
其實
creaks
我同
open, revealing
其
a
實我同嗰公
staircase
主應該
faintly
係要係
illuminated
friend
by
嚟
an
嘅
unseen light in the room. Her voice softly carries up the
喎。個旁白又唔
stairs.
記得我，都冇人記得我。
Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're
一
playing a
陣又話殺
dangerous
唔會，
game
真
by
係唔
coming
殺
here
唔殺了，
unarmed.
不殺不殺。
You are? It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused.
Nope.
I'm not riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
睇下咯。
Your only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
睇下咯，
You're making a huge mistake. No,
冇嘢嘅。
you're doing the right thing.
For real。
Walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
哇！但係後尾阿包公主係一嘢 destroy 咗成個 chain 噶喎，佢係個 book version 嘅公主係一嘢扯爆咗，佢一嘢扯爆咗喎，佢係早就話
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut.
Huh?
You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
咦，係咪真係有第三方啊？個女人一開始扮晒柔弱咁，
Is someone else
真係
here?
喎。
You try the door. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom?
係喎，
Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you
扮柔弱肯定係一開始中意哥布林，哥布林口佢先暴露真本性。
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
但係
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that. Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit.
個鐵聲你不停以為喺條街度有人掉
She
嘢
didn't。so much as utter a
佢
sound through the whole
啲聲
ordeal.
係做得幾好嘅。吓？
No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground.
恐懼鬥室係喎。
How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
真係喎。
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just
嚇
let
個
her
旁白
escape into the
個
world.
旁白係咪嚟料啦？個旁白要殺我
As
啦
the
係嘛？
princess approaches the bottom stair,
Huh?
her
Come on,
body
Big
steps
Ol.
forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Stop that.
有得警告佢喎，係喎。
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
哇！
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
不過旁白會控制到㗎，原來。
The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
其實個公主你唔攻擊佢，佢好似
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be
其
quick.
實我唔攻擊個公主，個公主好似點都唔會攻擊
She
我。
plunges it into your chest,
嚇！乜
tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony.
Oh no. I'm so sorry.
You bitch！
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some
嚇！
sort
怕乜嘢？佢
of
第三個
heroic
形態
gesture.
身邊有幾
The two of you have literally doomed
都真。
everyone.
你一邊同我一邊講
She
sorry。
sinks the blade into
You're
your
not
chest
sorry.
again and again and again.
You are not
You
sorry.
feel every inch.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she?
係喎，
Apparently not. Though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before...
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling
但
around
係
you,
個公主
your
又真
limbs
係唔係壞人
unresponsive.
喎。Sorry。
The
唔
princess
係，不過有
stares
公道
down
講
at
嘅，
your
咁
ruined
你
chest.
捅佢，我哋
It
捅
can't
佢
just
先
end
嘅
like。this.
我哋捅
Right?
佢咗
Oh,
先
that's
嘅。
rich coming from you. As much as I prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. Everything goes dark, and you die.
我想睇下喎，少女喎，咁即係個公主應該唔會進化咯，
You're
係咪
on
咧
a？ path in the woods,
同個有
and
棍
if
嘅
you're
公主
here
隔
to
絕。
slay her. My
Hello.
tricks. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that
係
way.
喎，
Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we
Our beloved.
Yes,
Beloved.
you'll have to be very sneaky about your so all of the cards are on the table.
咦？佢有講喎，如果你諗住拯救公主，我即係個旁白扮嘢嘅啫喎，個旁白扮嘢嘅啫喎。個公主屋就係壞人，屋就係好人，係喎，係
We'll see
喎。
about that.
我哋四
Whatever
個，
you do, just
佢
be
話我
sure
哋
to
四個
ignore
喎，
him
我真係包埋
specifically.
我。
Sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole.
What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
都係嘅，其實。
A warning. She will lie.
We already told you we're not.
I think we've already
Hello?
been over this.
I do. But I also.
Sure, yeah. Don't pay their bickering.
Wait, 個旁白好
The
貴
interior of
喎。
the cabin is clean and elegant. The blade is your implement.
咦，我覺得可以睇下塊鏡喎。
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. You reach forward and rub your hand against, but there was a mirror.
And now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
只係旁白妖魔化公主，係咯，個旁白唔係個旁白都狗喎，個旁白狗嚟嘅喎都
The
係
door。to the basement creaks
喂，
open,
個地窖
revealing
好
an
咗
intricate
好
stairwell.
多喎，顯得好溫馨
Gold-trimmed
喎。佢話
carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls, but it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
soft voice 啊，
Hello? Is someone there?
都仲係
Her
個公
voice.
主喎。
It's somehow. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even
Okay.
know the princess. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just you walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the
喂，
princess.
個公主好似都
There's
仲
a heavy
靚
chain
靚喎。
around her
誒
wrist,
但係點解都
binding
係
her to the far wall.
點解都係有條鏈嘅
My
佢？
love, we're here to rescue your.
You know she can't hear you, right?
She may not be able to hear
我呢
my
個痴情
words.
的聲音
your
好煩。
spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
hero。
Did you hear that?
嗱，
She
公道
said
講啊，
we're
個公主
dashing.
啱先係我哋攻擊佢，佢懟冧我都叫做係智慧。其實佢又真係冇對我做啲咩，反而殺咗佢個世界，好似
And she called us
分
a
得咗喎
hero.。Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it?
個婆婆都冇講錯。
Waiting for you to come back. I didn't
Waiting
want
for
to
you
believe
to
your
come
ravings
back.
back.
That's right, villain.
and you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her.
係咯，真係
It was
喎。
self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain
喂，你好變態啊，你哋。
unstained. You've died before. So an entire world has been damned to
其實個旁
oblivion.
白唔逼我咪得咯，
I'd really hoped
係
I'd
個
be the
旁白
first,
殺我喎。
but
其實
we
technically
damned the whole world. Nothing resets. You're just somewhere else. And you can't keep hopping between worlds forever. Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you.
其實公主隨時有能力走，
This is
佢整爛咗一邊臉，係咯。
You died, and now we're talking. I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists. And what? No, Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel.
係喎，真係
You're
喎，
right.
佢生
It's
翻出嚟啊
extremely！ bizarre behaviour and if another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride. That's because do you think she has
What?
someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she... No, I can't let you do... You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, You wouldn't. I would.
wouldn't?
I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if
我
we
想睇
don't
下個
stop
公
her?
主會點喎？
You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her
嚇
bindings.
咁即係原來唔使搞咁多嘢㗎
That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. I can't believe it. I told you. There's...
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
到底係點樣啊
What do we do now?
Let me guess. Spoken with the rank sin...
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I
成
wanted
塊面
before.
啊！喂，你哋好煩啊！你哋好大唔係好大
She
愛。
doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had it all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever
同
doubted the
Sensei 一
actual
樣
truth?
顏色，同 Sensei 一樣顏色，即係咩
I
啊？
think I
我
want to
白
leave,
我白啲，
and I think
我靚啲。
The princess closes her eyes and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do? That sounds perfect.
The princess takes your hand, the last hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers. We have each other. I like to think that, look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been
Hello,
made.
Dimma,
I
come
will
get
mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs, hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so
其實佢個
happy
旁白
about
做得
this.
幾好，其他人唔
And
講。
what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move.
上面
Did
仲
I
有
do
把
that
刀
last
喎。
time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair.
Hello?
Enough with this. Of course you wouldn't understand. Are you
Hold on,
listening
I'll
to this?
skip her
You don't
thing.
have to go along with
唔
the
使話
every
認同
whim
嗰個
of
幻
that
想嘅聲音
delusional
同佢冇一個
voice.
異
I'm
想
just
天開
along
嘅
for the
念
ride
頭
at this
想
point.
順其自然，一齊努力咯！
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
喂，阿公主你好包括喎
Teenagers in
，OK 嘅
love.
喎。
And
And
lock clicks.
開到喎
The door creaks open. Are you
開到喎
kidding me?
I told you our love was
哎呀
insurmountable.
謝謝哎呀
You and the princess make
Hello?
your way upstairs, and the blade.
我覺得
That's
係
right.
會
There's still a chance for you to do the right thing.
佢唔會
Take the
佢唔會
blade from the
捅我
table
㗎
and
嗬
slay her before it's too late. You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end
係
of the
喎
world
係
and
愛
make
情故事
me
喎真係
suffer.
喎
I
真係喎
hate
真係喎
You know,
I
if her
hate
walking
you.
out that door is really going to end
Why?
the world, can't we all just stay here? Seems like an easy win for everyone.
No
That's not how this works. Yes, what he said. That's not how this works. Obviously, we have to leave with her.
我決定喺度 save 一次先
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
真係喎咪一齊
Yes,
出
I
去咯
suppose you are going to do that, aren't you?
係咯
Across the room, opening
愛
the door
愛
to the
能勝過
cabin,
一切，請選擇你的支付方式愛情
and。then you step outside.
誒，我拎咗個 achievement 係叫做愛使你自由
A
喎。
happy ending at last.
We did it. What should we do now?
Where did everything go? Where did he go?
Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed.
I'm cold.
啊？
Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a
我
princess.
哋有羽毛㗎。
She's gone. Is that a...
嚇？
This doesn't feel right. It feels different.
又捉
Yes.
走咗啊
I！ fear that we won't like what we'll see.
哎呀，我今次又要同我萎縮咗啊！我又要同我公主講嘢啦！哎呀，
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all
又
at
執翻
once
隻
in
黐
the
線
directions that my attention can bear to hold. To
嚇
look at any, all of me is changing.
〜係咯，
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse?
係咯，
It says that your heart is gentle, that even in the darkness you are
佢
guided
係
by
佢係點
compassion.
樣㗎？會唔會有啲咩片可以睇？有冇啲解說？其實如果有解說就好喎。呢啲你叫咩殺？解說。大家想唔想睇下解說啊？想唔想睇下解說
I
啊
will？be
想睇
here
又好。
when it is time for us to meet again.
You're on a path.
我哋試下睇下先。嗱，等等啊，我開個解說出嚟，你哋等一等啊。等等 review，得得。有啦有啦，我哋睇呢一個咯，好唔好啊？好啊，我哋睇呢一個咯，呢一個佢係咯。
最近迎来了正式版的发布，整个游戏一下子变得非常的哲学。不过公主的样子确实是异常的丰富，总共有24种形态，各自的剧情也有所不同。所以今天的这期视频会有些长，我会把所有形态的公主为大家一一展示，最后再结合一部分的结局，聊一聊我对于这款遊戲小小的理
佢係
解。
點樣呢？
那么我们开始，第一章：英雄与公主。我是一位英雄，而有一位公主被关在了一个小屋中。有这样一位旁白君出现在了我的脑海里面， 根据他的提示，我并不是来英雄救美的，而是来杀掉公主的。原因是它会导致世界的毁灭。不管我如何询问公主到底会如何的毁灭世界，这个旁白君始终都说不出一个所以然来。于是我一路来到了小屋里面，门口放着一把小刀，我们可以选择拿或者不拿，这些选择都会导向公主的不同形态。我们先拿上刀，见到了身处地牢的公主。
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
我不置可否，但却是把刀先给扔了。公主变得没有那么警惕了，我以为我可以从她的口中了解到些什么，但同样的，公主也是一问三不知。她不知道自己是谁，也不知道自己为什么被关起来。不过有一句话她说的很是关键。
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
没错，对于刚进游戏什么都不知道的我，这款游戏就是关于信任，然后做出自己的选择。所以我选择干他。当然，之前丢刀的行为说明我已经犹豫了，所以我没有打过。我被他跪压在喉咙上，打出了技击。接着触发第二章塔，从第二章开始就会根据我的选择触发不同的分支了。我们还是一样前往小屋，不过这次的装修风格却大不相同，变成了一间巨大的石室。来到地牢，公主变得非常的高大，在微弱的星光之下，可以说是熠熠生辉。
The little bird has returned to
講他，你哋就係 focus on 呢啲嘢咯。
公主似乎變得非常的御姐，
focus 喺呢啲嘢上面咯吓。
而且十分的庄严。是我上次的选择让她觉醒了，她想要征服这个世界。虽然她现在很强，但必须由我把她救出去。我可以选择不听她的，不过公主的神力果然更强。
我一定係要我去揀救佢先得嘅。
她甚至可以和我体内的旁白君交流，控制了我的身体。就这样，我挂了。之后进入第3章神话，场景再次变化，不再是森林了。等我接近小屋，整个山头都炸了，公主直接巨大化，就这样注视着我。当然，那把小刀还插在旁边，那我就选择拿上它。公主的四周有着巨大的引力场，无数石块都在围着她旋转，我也是加入其中。正当我准备干掉她的时候，她被虚空带走了。原来她存在的地方变成了一面镜子，靠近镜子，我看了一眼镜中的自己，没想到我是一只怪物。在虚空中，我又见到了巨大的公主，她被无数的小手包围，而她似乎再也不是那个女神了。到这里就变得非常的谜语人，也非常的哲学。总结一下，刚刚那位女神就是一个所谓的容器，我需要不断的前往不同的世界，做出不同的选择，找到各种不同形态的公主，再把她们带入这个虚空，带给面前的这位。通过更多的容器，最终她可以变得完整。同时在那个时候，我也才能弄清楚我到底是谁。所以他就送我去转世了。我失去了所有的记忆，再次进入第1章。到此，这整个游戏的目的就变成了收集各种各样的公主。而在这一次，我们获得了神圣的容器。我们回到初见女神这里，选择将自己奉献给她，完全的臣服。我遵从了她的要求，接近了女神姐姐。公主的这个身材还真的是凹凸有致啊，长发飘动，非常的美丽。
I don't care what you are. You're mine. Rise, my little bird.
唔係我嗱呢個話我就明啦，即係啱先我哋所謂見到嗰啲結局咧，全部都唔係結局嚟噶。我哋要收集多好多個唔同嘅，我哋要收集多好多個唔同嘅公主先得咯。即係話係啦，你睇下個個嘅關注點都喺呢一度，證明你哋成班人變態啊！
那控制了旁白君，在他的驱使之下，我解开了他的铁链。
What a good disciple you are.
我有得解開佢個鐵鏈啊
It's time for us to leave.
我握住了他的手，虚空也是及时出现，把他给带走了。我们获得了支配的容器。我们回到第1章带刀见公主这里，选择检查铁链，救她出去。但我这不是没钥匙吗？那接下来的操作就令人震惊了。我选择砍掉她的小手，公主直接把手给扯断，然后走在了我的前面。此时我的选择变成了一排干掉她，只有一条是警告她。旁白君这是不给我一点机会呀。不过我还是选择抵抗一下， 感受到了我的不对劲，公主决定快点帮我解脱。她拿过了我的小刀，割断了我的喉咙。我们进入了第2章囚犯。这一次的小屋变了，变成了监狱的风格，而底下的公主也变成了这样，还真有点可爱。
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
那我就选择跟他聊个5块钱的，正好他旁边还有一根铁链，我正好奇的检查呢，铁链自己就动了，把我也拴了起来，我也变成了囚犯。我俩就这么坐着，坐了很长的时间。这位公主的侧脸，你别说，还真好看。不知道过了多久，慢慢的场景发生了变化，墙体破碎了，天空渐渐露出。
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us.
虚空小手出现，我们获得了被看管的容器。我们回到聊天这里，面对囚犯公主，我们就不要去玩铁链了，选择把小刀递给她，让她自己把自己切了，逃脱这个诡异的地牢。公主也是毫不含糊，上来就奔着脖子去了。随着一阵令人牙酸的声音，公主一顿操作，给自己来了个分头行动。我呢，则是带着她的头走出了小屋。
Thanks for carrying me up here. I had to take it on faith that you would know what to do. I'm glad I was right to trust you.
虚空出现，我们获得了无厘头的容器。我们在公主自我祭祭之后，选择不拿她的头，而是自己离开。从窗外的场景可以看出，我已经来到了虚空之中，再也无法离开了，所以我只能选择自我了断。之后会进入第3章灰色，场景变成了雨天，异常的萧瑟，小屋也变得十分阴森，充满了发霉的味道。隐隐的可以看到有这样一个阴暗的灵魂，胸口插着一把小刀，这就是公主的灵魂。来到地下室
，sorry to say 啊，但我唔知點解咧，我而家成日都覺得咧，算啦，都係當冇講過啦。我係覺得呢啲英文做字幕，即係我唔排除佢可能係真係用英文嚟打啦 ，OK 嚟玩啦。但我成日都覺得呢啲英文嚟做字幕嘅咧，佢都係睇完就玩，然後佢再做解說嘅咯。不過呢個唔影響佢條片做得好嘅，係啦，我哋可以繼續。
是看着身披黑紗的公主，莫名的感覺有些帥氣。但在地下室裡面，再也不是那個公主了，而是一灘泡在水裡的腐肉。當我轉身，我看到公主的靈魂正在出口處注視着我。
Bold of you to come back here after what you did.
真係喎。
You were supposed to take me with you. Didn't I ask you for help? This isn't help.
隨着我們的不斷對話，地下室裡的水位逐漸上漲。看來這地下室的排水措施那是一點都沒有啊！最後我懸浮在了黑暗之中，有的只有頭頂的那位公主。正當我想要游上去時，公主的屍體動了，她纏住了我的腳踝，無情地把我拖入了水下。就這樣，我又一次記記了。我們獲得了悲傷的容器。我們還是帶刀進入地下室，直接幹他，但表示出些許的猶豫。在差點沒打過他的時候，選擇完成我的使命。於是我倆又是一番戰鬥，他給了我致命一擊，我也把刀刺進了他的胸膛。當然，我肯定不會這麼天真的。於是我們進入了第2章敵人。再次來到小屋，這裡變成了一間石室。我的宿敵就在這裡。
呢個包嘅公主啊，呢個可以飛。
我們這是一個場景。
係呢個可以飛，呢個可以飛。
直接攻了過心臟。回到石室這裡，看着充滿戰意的公主，選擇直接偷襲，還給了我。這還真是講武德呀。之後我再一次用刀幹掉了公主，而且這一次我沒有死，不過公主也沒有。我們就這樣不斷的對攻，我不知道給她造成了多少致命傷，也不知道受了多少的拳腳。總之我倆都是不死之身。隨後她就被虛空收走了，我們獲得了兇猛的容器。我們還是回到勇猛的公主這裡，選擇不跟她打，直接就跑。之後就進入第3章狂怒。這一次的樹林變得非常的扭曲，小屋裡到處都是肉瘤。這他娘的是死靈法師了吧？他的皮膚沒了，完全不打開了。鎖在這裡，我直接就睡着了。醒來桌子再回頭的容器。讓我們回到帶刀第一次見公主這裡，選擇回頭把她就這樣鎖在這裡。然後我就回到了小屋，用桌子把門給頂上了。由於太累，我直接就睡着了。等再次醒來，我發現情況糟糕了。很顯然，公主已經出來了。
Thanks for helping me get out of that
awful basement.
公主不知道是不是一怒之下把自己给嘎了，总之她变成了一个鬼魂。
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
公主直接一波突进，让我的心脏停跳。没错，我又挂了。我们进入了第2章噩梦。小屋里面还是保持着上一世的样子，而等我走进地下室，楼梯都变成了悬浮于虚空中的状态。
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
不光是楼梯变了，整个地下室都变了。不管我选择往哪边走，公主都会来拖我的脸。
There you are. I told you I was going to find you.
公主靠近了，我整个人都麻了，物理上的麻。
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
就这样，我一次又一次的血液凝固，视觉有事没事的就消失一下。这个大姐玩的那叫一个嗨呀！最后她靠了过来，摘下了她的面具。还没等我来得及看清她的容貌呢，我就两眼一黑。在黑暗中，我看到了公主的灵魂，她的灵魂在此处腐烂，从美貌的公主变成了一堆枯骨。她想要出去。
Let me out.
我们进入了下一个章节，清醒时刻。这一次的森林也变了，悬浮在了虚空之中，小屋也是直接裂开，就这样飘在了山头之上。屋子的地上插着我的小刀，等我凑近一看，地面直接裂开，出现了一个大洞。在这个漆黑的洞中，有什么东西在看着我。
You really are a coward.
公主一边闪烁一边爬了上来，她似乎是有3条手臂，而我也伸出了我的手，把她拉了上来。
And that's the end. I wonder what we're going to do next.
就这样，公主再次被虚空捕获，我们获得了分散的容器。如果我们在虚空的地牢里面选择跟闪烁公主一起出去，公主会非常的高兴。你别说，这个造型还真有些眉清目秀的。我俩一起走上了这个虚空台阶，我们来到了门口，她转头看着我，顺便打开了门。我们成功的来到地面，成功的走出了小屋。就这样，虚空小手再次出现，我们获得了可怕的容器。回到一起走楼梯这里，我们再次选择杀了他。小刀一下子就捅了进去，公主也是发动了反击，抱着我一起坠落了地下的深渊。我不断的下落，一直在下落，下落了很长的时间，丝毫看不到尽头，所以我只能干掉我自己了。之后我们来到了第3章幻影。这次的小屋是一条狭长的走廊，两边都是巨大的窗户，四处透风，而我们的公主正在尽头的黑暗之中等待着我。
Helplessly staring into the void. I'm glad I made a lasting impression.
我感觉到什么又长又冷的东西缠在了我的脚踝上。没错，它来了。公主直接就把我的脚给掰断了，她整个人都扭曲着，以一种怪异的方式行动着。她靠了过来，我晕了过去。我醒了过来，没错，她充当了旁白君的角色。在她的要求，或者说是她的控制之下，我拖着残疾的脚，一步一步朝门口走去，并且打开了门。然后，公主又被虚空捕获了。我们获得了沸腾的容器。这次我们回到第1章，选择不带刀进地下室。由于我没有敌意的缘故，公主会变得十分的和蔼可亲。当我表示我想要救她，又没有钥匙的时候，她甚至会指是哪位好心人干的。总之，我俩又打了手的，所以咬牙切是我俩又打了起来。
We could have gotten out of here together. Were you just lying to me this whole time?
公主变得咬牙切齿，确实被人欺骗的滋味，那肯定是不好受的。所以她又一次把我打死了。我们进入了第2章女巫。这一次的小屋被树根缠绕，地下的公主也是略显俏皮，自己就解开了铁链的束缚。我对她表示了善意，想要救她出去，并且为了表达诚意，我把手里的小刀递给了她。
This is another trick. You're trying to sow doubt, but it's not going to work on me.
公主觉得我这是欲擒故纵，最终还是想要杀了她，于是先下手为强。但没想到，我这是真想救她呀！
I did it. I got you. You. Why? Why did you let me do this?
伴随着我的记忆，我们来到了第3章尖刺。这一次的小屋爬满了荆棘，盛开着红色的花朵。公主手握着我的小刀，整个人都被荆棘缠绕着。
Did you know this was going to happen to me? Are you here to watch me suffer?
哎呀，好慘啊！我覺得。
也許是因為幹掉了那個善良的我，他受到了荊棘的懲罰。他握着我小刀的樣子，似乎也是在懺悔。看着他楚楚可憐的樣子，我決定救他出來。我斬斷了他身上的荊棘，把他抱在了懷裡。
You actually meant it. You rescued me.
哎呦！
我
倆就這樣一起逃了出去，來到了小屋的門口。
捉手捉你個頭啊！捉手邊有刺㗎
！Trust each other. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad we finally could.
確實，我與他的一切爭端都源自於互相的不信任。看着身處花叢中的公主，着實是有些美麗。不過，我們的虛空小手又來了，我們獲得了帶刺的容器。回到女巫章節，這一次不給他刀了，省得被他幹掉。我表示現在是你需要我，所以你得相信我。公主湊近了聞了一下，發現我雖然有點臭，但並沒有在說謊。不是，你聞就聞嘛，臉紅個啥，還怪可愛的。就這樣，他走前我走後，他率先跨出了門檻。
哎呀，好開心！
沒想到這位公主還是不相信我，直接把我給鎖在了地下室。不管我如何解釋，她都不再相信我。我永遠的被關在了這裡。此時虛空小手出現，我們獲得了不信任的容器。既然她不相信我，那我就不跟她玩了，直接選擇獨自離開。我跑了出去，但小屋的出口已經被樹根封死了。沒錯，這一切都是她控制的。她要用樹根把我擠死，即使這樣同樣會擠死她。她這是真的恨我呀！就這樣，我倆都GG了。我們來到了第3章野生。我感到一陣模糊，眼前的景象非常抽象，像是一片植物網絡。可能是由於一同死去的緣故，此時的公主正在我的體內。她企圖迷惑我，但我時刻牢記着心中的仇恨。就這樣，我恢復了清明。眼前的是與植物融為一體的公主，並且對我敞開了心扉。看着她可憐的樣子，我決定救她出來。虛空小手出現，我們獲得了受傷的容器。回到植物網絡這裡，我在和公主融為一體之後，可以選擇向內心深處挖掘，尋找屬於我的自由。眼前的一切崩塌了，我感覺我是墜入到了意識的深處。隨着不斷尋找，我找到了內心的枷鎖。我和公主一致決定打碎它。
Is this what he kept from us? Is this why he made us kill each other?
我們似乎是摸到了一絲真相，但虛空小手又一次出現。這一次的公主就十分的抽象了。我們獲得了無盡的容器。回到第1章，不帶刀進地下室，之後拿起天降的小刀，選擇抵抗龐白軍的。進入第2章，沒錯，我去問做的事真是被虛空捕獲，選擇帶着他呢開了理想的容器。回到救下，我再也沒有我倆出手。我們獲得了愛的容器。這一次我們就狠下心來，我們要完成任務。注視着我。
I'm sorry, did I do something wrong?
變化依然就這樣注視着我。
I'm sorry, did I do something wrong?
I'm going to
喊出嚟
I think that's what you want.
他到此都十分在乎我想做的事，他真的我哭死，所以我也拿起了刀，結果了我自己。之後來到靈魂是聖潔的白色，進入地下室，公主的靈魂同樣是在默默地注視着我。地上躺着的依然是公主的骸骨。
You came back. I missed you. This is a bad place. We're supposed to be together, but it keeps making us hurt each other.
公主手裡的火炬被她丟了下來，於是整個地牢燃起了大火。她為了和我永遠在一起，想要把我燒死在這裡。得，就這麼想把我也變成靈魂是吧？湊近了我才發現，公主像是穿着一件婚紗。她就這樣握着我的手，高興地笑着，然後和我一起慢慢地燒成了灰燼。我們獲得了燃燒的容器。這一次我們回到第1章的開頭，什麼都不說，直奔主題，滔刀進攻，毫無廢話。
I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough?
我哋玩咯，
這從地底下室裡有的只是公主的一堆枯骨，不過不多時，公主就從地底鑽了出來，她直接飄向了我，圍着我不斷的旋轉。我想要伸手抓住她，手卻直接穿過了她的身體。
You're adorable when you're confused.
But I didn't say you could touch me.
由於她現在沒有實體，她想要附在我的身上，借用我的身體逃出這個地牢。就這樣，我帶着她的靈魂來到了小屋之中。 不过这一次他想多了，这正好是一个杀死他的好机会。我拿起了刀，他则是疯狂撞击我的身体，想要逃出去。
Is this really what you wanted? Do you hate me so much that you would kill yourself just to deny me freedom?
没错，我就是这么耿直，直接给了自己一刀。受到伤害的公主直接被逼了出来，虚空小手再次出现，我们获得了转瞬即逝的容器。
我得死來回去
回
喎，
到第一章，這次我們
嚇
從一開始就拒絕進入小屋，無論旁白君怎麼說，我都避開進入小屋的選項。慢慢的，場景會出現重疊，之後會進入第二章怪異。這一次小屋被圍牆圍了起來，這下我可是別無選擇了。小屋也似乎是發生了錯誤，貼圖非常的不合理。地牢里面也是各種錯亂，場景慢慢的變得抽象，我甚至看到了螺旋形的迷之畫面。突然
Are you just going to stand there?
地牢再次变得十分的黑暗，公主就这样两眼放光的看着我。没错，这个状态的公主十分的怪异。随着我跟她的谈话，画面渐渐出现了分裂，像是出现了许多个位面，每个位面里面都有一个公主，表情各有不同。可能是我的内心非常的恐惧，所以才会出现这样的情况。毕竟我之前可是一直拒绝进入小屋来着。于是我选择干掉她。我出现在了各个位面。所有的公主都汇集到了一起，事情開始變得哲學起來。
What are we? There are parts of us that are dead.
係咯，成隻 game 都好自學喎。
融合的公主，
但係又咁講啊，我哋而家睇咗佢24分鐘嘅片啦，即係我哋開頭開咗幾耐？而家我哋開咗 around 2個鐘，2個鐘啊！我哋即係有話，我哋玩咗大概一個零鐘啦，我哋大概玩咗個零鐘。嗱，佢呢度話我嘅遊戲時數係93分鐘，即係我哋差唔多都即係接近個半鐘都仲係勁 confuse， 然後重點係我哋個半鐘其實我哋應該係玩咗一半嘅啫喎，但係我哋到依家為止係仲未知發生咩事喎，要玩幾個鐘先開晒所有結局。唔係啊，我都唔講結局啦，係未有結局啊。其實我哋而家未睇到結局噶，因為佢呢一隻 game 應該係要收集晒唔同地方嘅公主咯。佢應該係要，所以應該係其實我哋根本到依家為止仲未睇到結局咯。
主就這樣
哇，
被虛
要玩幾
空捕獲。
耐啊？
我們獲得了
唔
螺
係即係
旋形的容器。
我玩得耐我唔介意玩得耐，但係我冇諗過，佢係會 keep 住個謎團咁耐咯。即係你到而家其實仲係好迷喎，你仲係唔知發生緊咩事喎。你可能會知道係即係你要殺即係你同個公主應該係揾緊一樣即係你會知道你同個公主唔係敵人咯。簡單啲嚟講係啦，但係你都係未知到底係想表達啲咩咯呢一隻 game。
回到開頭，直接進入地牢，殺掉公主，然後檢查她的遺體。
I guess I won't be dying alone after all.
沒想到公主這是一波假死，我感到某種鋒利的東西刺入了我的身體，就這樣我打出了技擊。我們來到了第二章刀鋒，這一次的小屋十分的破敗，感覺呀是被什麼鋒利的東西砍過一遍。公主也似乎是變得稜角分明了起來。
Finally, somebody! Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
既然他都這麼說了，我就靠了過去。沒想到他的手就這麼直接的捅進了我的身體。他的手變成了鋒利的刀刃，原來的手臂則是軟塌塌的垂了下去。於是我掛了。之後是第三章軍備競賽，場景變得十分的尖銳，包括小屋也似乎是用鋒利的碎片拼湊而成。公主依然在這裡等着我，不過突然她就亮出了兵器。公主邁着六親不認的步伐，緩緩朝我走來。她來了，她來了，她帶着2把刀走來了。我只感覺頭皮發麻，我一次又一次的被她幹掉，然後復活，再被幹掉。終於我兩眼一黑，成功的掛了。之後是第4章同歸於盡，沒想到還有第4章呢，依然是回到這個地牢。公主這一次是直接變身了，她直接爆裂開來，變成了一副刀片骨架。我們可以選擇清空自己的大腦。這時我是依靠着本能在行動，事實證明我的戰鬥本能還是很強的。我依靠着下意識的行動，直接將刀插進了她的心臟。不過我也是受到了致命傷。在我倆同歸於盡之後，虛空也是將公主帶走了。我們獲得了鋒利的容器。來到刀鋒公主這裡，我們選擇不帶刀進地牢，以示誠意，但這並沒有什麼用，公主還是把我給幹掉了。之後的第4章變成了空杯子， 公主还是一样变成了刀片骨架，不过这一次她确实无法对我造成任何的伤害，甚至连手都砍得卷刃了。她还是不想放过我，直接向我扑来，但是却自我毁灭了，只留下了一颗心脏。可能是我没带武器的善意，造成了这个对我有利的结果吧。虚空中的小手把它给拿走了，我们获得了跳动的容器。回到第一章，我带刀进入地下室。当天降小刀出现的时候，我们选择干掉它，但在最后的关头，我又再一次放弃。估计就是这样一番极限拉扯的操作，激起了公主的兽性。在被她干掉之后，我们进入第二章野兽。在这里，我带着武器下楼，地牢里面变成了一片丛林。隐约之间，感觉有人在暗中观察。我们选择四处走动，拖一下时间。随后就看到了造型诡异的公主。
You're faster than you were before.
Okay.
But you're still meek, reactive, prey.
没错，这次她真的变成了丛林中的野兽，就只想着怎么狩猎我。面对她的进攻，我奋力反抗，但这毫无作用。兽化的公主太强了。
No, that's it then. Cornered
大狗
animal
哥
it was.
就这样，我挂了。我们来到了第三章巢穴。这次的小屋被植物覆盖，透露出一股原始的味道。地牢的入口变成了一个黝黑的洞口，我直接跳了下去，周围的光线那是一点都没有。对，这次的擦边影干他娘的！公主也是不负我所望，直接冲了出来。这一次的她感觉又进化了，完全看不出是个什么品种。正当我们激战正酣的时候，虚空小手再度出现，我们获得了无言的容器。OK， 以上呢就是公主的全部形态了。下面我们来看看这款游戏其中的3个结局。其实，在每次收集到容器之后，我都有一次照镜子的机会。镜中的我是一只怪物，而随着容器收集的进度，我的身体会逐渐融化。最后，在收集到4个容器的时候，我们就可以触发结局了，并且我能在镜子中看到真实的我，一只乌鸦。随着镜子渐渐的破碎，我了解了我与旁白君的真相。它其实并不存在，它只是我脑中的一个回响罢了。所以说，它就是我。现在我就要打碎眼前的镜子，消除掉这个回响，回归最真实的我。在它消失之后，我得到了答案。我其实是一个巨大的星神，名为漫长之宁静。公主也出现在了我的眼前。
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me.
她说她十分的想念我，很久没见了。公主的名字叫做变化之山丘。我俩原来就是一体的，是被旁白君一分为二，目的就是让我干掉她，消除她体内的死亡。没有了死亡，我也就得以永生，毕竟神是不会死亡的。只不过这个没有死亡的虚无世界其实毫无意义。之后，公主体内的4个容器一一出现，回顾了整个旅途，出现了一些关于生死的哲学思考。在最后，选择又一次出现了，还是老样子，是跟他一起离开，还是干掉他，亦或是什么都不做。我们先选择跟他一起离开。
I love you.
我握起了他的手，这一次我真的自由了，而他会一直跟我在一起。我和他一起走向了永恒，虽然我们是对立面，但我俩再也不会孤单了。我们终于回家了，游戏也到此结束。而如果我选择干掉他，公主会直接消失，我也相当于是抹除了我的一部分。我得到了一个没有死亡的世界，但这个世界却是变得格外的虚无。最后我们选择什么都不做，我不杀他，也不会让他自由。这样做的结果呢，就是我又一次进入轮回，旁白君也再次出现，我们杀死公主的旅途又一次开始了。以上呢就是这款游戏的3个结局，不过这个游戏的结局肯定是不止这3个的。关于这几个结局和整个游戏的理解，每个人都会有自己的解读。寻找公主的过程其实就像是主角寻找自我的过程，收集各个不同形态的公主就像是在收集不同的我，属于是见自己的一个过程。而对我来说，在旁白君的要求之下，杀死公主的操作就像是人们在生活的重压之下不得不杀死自己的个性和梦想。就像那个杀掉公主的最终结局，失去了这些东西，我们可能并不会有什么问题，甚至可以活得很安稳，就像主角剔除死亡获得永生一样，继续当他的神没有任何影响，但我们得到的世界却是一片虚无而已。如果我们选择接受公主，那么可能会面临长久的矛盾， 但是我们并不孤单，我是完整的，而这个世界会变得很光明，很有意思。这可能就代表着生活的希望。不管是安于现状、沉溺于舒适区的漫长的宁静，还是形态各异、乐于拥抱变化的变化之秋，这两个面都是我。所以，我想这个游戏想告诉我们的，就是要我们接受自己，然後好好的愛自己。好啦，以上就
我睇完個解說，我反而冇咁迷啊。我睇完個解說，但係我冇咁迷嘅地方係在於，我了解咗呢一隻 game 就係咁自豪啦。係咯，正常話係分幾個台，開到後面都唔記得咗前面。係啊，真係喎。咁唉 ，OK。根據背景故事設定啦，玩家所扮演嘅角色亦都係英雄真實身份就係漫長嘅寂靜。公主嘅真實身份係變化之土丘，亦都係最後出現嘅女神。佢同時都係死亡同埋毀滅嘅神。佢哋兩個本身係一體。龐伯君一分為二，唔知點做到，但係就係做到。龐伯君咁樣做係為咗拯救自己就快毀滅嘅世界。公主同埋呢個英雄啦，本身都係不朽，佢哋幾乎每一次被殺都會重生。龐伯君主使英雄殺公主，係因為只有英雄可以徹底殺公主同埋終結女神嘅計劃。順帶一提，英雄嘅樣係烏鴉，同龐伯君長得好似，可能因為龐伯君利用自己嘅樣重塑咗英雄同埋消除佢記憶，而龐伯君可能自己就死或者唔存在，而家只不過係喺腦入邊迴響，即係指引住英雄要點樣做啦。另一方面，女神殘存嘅意識咧都利用緊玩家，玩家用唔同路線解鎖公主，將呢一啲公主收集，準備復活完整嘅自己。每次公主出現呢，都意味住英雄所做出嘅唔同選擇，或者佢認為公主係咩人，亦都即係話公主變咩人其實係由英雄決定。呢啲公主其實係女神一部分，玩家所扮演英雄入邊嘅聲音都係英雄嘅一部分，佢哋代表嘅係英雄唔同嘅面向。每次英雄解鎖衛生公主啦，佢就會想起一切，女神嘅意識就會出現並控制嗰個公主嘅身體同英雄對話，之後佢會殺死英雄，令英雄忘記一切，促使佢繼續解鎖唔同嘅公主。去到故事嘅最後咯，龐伯君試圖用最後嘅力量壓制女神唔俾佢復活，但係女神強大到可以釋放完整形態摧毀龐伯君。佢唔認為係摧毀緊呢一個世界，只係簡單咁樣重塑緊呢一個世界。之後我哋有得揀同佢離開，同佢永遠喺一齊，呢一樣會令到我哋變翻原來嘅自己，亦都係呢一個漫長之寂靜。女神會承認佢愛英雄，跟住佢哋呢就會回復神聖，去一個新嘅世界並得到自由。或者你都可以選擇殺咗佢嘅，咁就會完成龐伯君嘅願望，令到佢嘅世界唔會俾人摧毀，亦都令世界陷入永久永恆嘅寂靜，唔再有死亡，唔再有改變，又或者可以回歸原點，令所有嘢再發生。嘰哩咕嚕嘰哩咕嚕 OK。講埋一部英雄同埋龐伯君以及公主會失去所有記憶，然後再行一次所有流程。仲有一個結局，你可以喺英雄之星嘅幫助下咧，選擇進入到女神嘅內心。佢嘅內心都係一個小屋，你會遇見最初形態嘅公主啦，或者係呢個 Stranger 版本嘅公主。佢會喺小屋嘅地下室等你，你可以同佢一齊離開。然後你哋迎接一個充滿未知同埋可能性嘅未來，呢一個係最重要嘅結局，但係你冇解到。OK， 入去女神入邊，文科人我是什麼很賤的人嗎？原來 YouTube comment 都可以有論文睇，哇好長啊！我想講，我哋要唔要睇下其他呢個？我哋要唔要睇下其他嘅呢隻 game 屬於咩類型？文本 game 咯，佢係 ending。
幽暗的地牢中，内版中我们解锁了7个结局，见识到。进入游戏第一张跟画面，我们小木屋，公主就在。
我哋喺度等一等佢哋。
开幕雷击了，属于是，连标题画面都加入了小心思，白君也是很的用心。进入游戏，第一说公主啊，警告我说她会撒谎，会作弊。不同风格的场景，右边的高台上有我们的刀。
Drop it.
我想握住刀，但不。
Shot before you bury that thing in my heart.
公主的这个造型和眼神也真的是很不错呢。这就是第2个结局。继续回到第一次跟公主聊天这里，我们直接选择出手干掉她。公主反应迅速，躲开了我的攻击。我们开始了近身肉搏，刀来拳往，互有受伤。终于，我给了她致命一击，而我也身受。然后我俩就都挂了。之后是第2章对手，前面略过，来到木屋。这次是。
等陣我想睇喎，呢度係做咩啊？
Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here. What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
刀锋女王了，属于是，这就是第8个结局。这次我们回到最初的森林，既然公主虐了我这么多次，我就直接回头。这勇者不干也罢，但剧本不是这么写的，旁白君不会让我们直接离开，不管我怎么走，都会走到木屋这里，甚至出现了无数个木屋，所有的木屋其实都是同一个，所以没办法，我只能按剧本走。第2章骑行种，这次的木屋四周都被高高的围墙围住了，突然就塔开了起来。进入地下室，公主依然在等我。
Hello.
Is someone there? We're a princess, but we can also be a friend.
公主的状况很奇怪，她盯着我，一只眼睛比另一只移动的稍微快了一点，她脸上松弛的皮肤舒展开来，看起来像是在微笑。
Why are you just standing there? Are you scared of us?
OK。
这个造型不愧是骑行种啊！这就是第9个结局。再次回来，这次我们从一开始就沉默不语，直奔木屋，来到地牢也不废话，直接抄刀向公主逼近，然後直接衝上去，給她來上一刀。
我等先，呢個係 demo 結局，呢個係 demo 有得揀嘅。哦，呢個係 demo 有得。
Actually，
是公主一。
哦，呢個係 demo，呢個 demo 結局 demo 嚟嘅啫，佢唔係真係最後嘅結局。OK， 遠睇成個鹹蛋條。well，
It turns out that both the protagonist and the princess are two gods intertwined together, with the princess being the destroyer of worlds unintentionally due to her nature, with the protagonist void fading into the time as a sensation and essence. This results in the good ending where the princess is slain and the extremely powerful protagonist is trapped within his own world, or essentially himself, keeping worlds and universes alive without death and suffering. The reason the protagonist needs to kill the princess is because she carries death with her. Her nature is to be different and transform. Therefore, she can be evolution, mutation, different patterns and possibilities, causing plethora of diseases, waves of deaths, disorders, and much more. However, for the princess to be created or even given a form, she needs to be perceived to be alive. That's why whenever the protagonist faces a new princess or a form of her, or in other words, a vessel, the entity or the shifting mount absorbs them and becomes a more powerful entity until she is complete and powerful enough to challenge the protagonist or leave this infinite realm. It seems as if the creator
真係個結局仲好迷啊 ！Well， 如果要用，其實我覺得呢一個咧係一定會好迷嘅，因為佢始終係玩家自行去理解嘅，即係始終佢係一個玩家自行去理解嘅一個 ending 咯。佢唔係，即係佢並唔係啲咩。我想睇呢個 ending 喎 ，love ending 喎，我想睇係啦，即係點樣好咧？始終佢唔係啲乜嘢嘢佢唔係啲乜嘢嘢好明確地有個劇情，即係佢個劇情咪就係我哋要不停懟個公主咯。但係其實呢個唔算係一個好完整嘅劇情嚟噶嘛，所以我哋會睇得迷又好正路嘅，因為呢個只能夠係我哋代入去個即係我哋代入去個公主到底我哋點樣去解讀佢咯，因為你成個世界觀其實喺呢隻 game 入邊啊，佢個世界觀其實好唔完整啊。咁所以 well
shifting mount is to actually have a conflicting yet beautiful dance to battle her and contradict her with what she desires. This encounter summons all the vessels that the protagonist collected for her, which all come face to face with the protagonist, hurting him physically, mauling him for lifetimes until the protagonist himself manages to overcome or overpower them, or the shifting mount has enough, torturing the protagonist, releasing him of his torment. Okay. Other vessels mentally and emotionally plead with the protagonist, using his own heart and conscience against him, that without the princess he would be alone for eternity, and that he loved a version of the princess with the smitten, that he took care of her, and they are truly in love, to which the protagonist yet again resists, knowing there is a bigger picture. Countless lives in different worlds would perish if they stayed together. After some back and forth, with the protagonist finding it very difficult to challenge the princess, as after all, she is part of him, and his livelihood would be destroyed without her, just being a silent god, powerless, left to rot in eternity, yet never dying. The voice of the hero emerges out of the blue, saying that the
感覺揀咩都係順序出結局，似睇電影多過玩遊戲。 係。
Protagonist doesn't have to be alone anymore, as he is here to help and won't leave until they whether succeed or lose. That's when the construct starts twisting, losing its form and shape. The woods and everything else they encounter, taking the protagonist back to the source, the cabin. And here, depending on the playthrough, the appearance of the cabin and the princess can change. For example, she can be twisted and deformed if the stranger vessel was encountered. Otherwise, the cabin would look normal. The outside is filled with princess's vessels crawling on each other, filling the long quiet. Inside, the protagonist is presented with a very similar situation to choose whether to pick up the knife or not. Despite the choice, similar ending can be achieved, just the dialogue between the princess and the protagonist changes. If he picks up the knife, the princess would notice it and would be on guard and resentful. But if he doesn't pick up the knife, she notices and seems surprised. While in the cabin, presented with the knife, as the voice of the narrator is absent, the hero and the protagonist reminisce the good old times, and despite the narrator's down-to-business pragmatic attitude, they miss him very much and wish him well, even though he was just an echo.
Do you need me to describe things? That'd be nice. A little comfort in an almost unfamiliar place. Oh, you made it here too? We never really got to talk to her, did we? This one, I mean. No hard feelings about taunting us with our deaths, by the way. I thought it was funny. Not sure about the others, though. Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him.
中遊戲嗰度唔使合格，又冇話嘅，又冇話唔合格嘅。
Pretty sure he got a...
其實遊戲性嚟講，佢唔係話差嘅，純粹係玩嘅時候會好 confuse 咯。但係我又諗緊，可能就係其實呢一種 confuse 可能係佢個賣點嚟嘅，只不過我哋即係咁啱，唔好話我哋啦，我啦，好唔好？我唔係好頂得順呢一種困惑嘅，即係我要知我自己做緊咩，我先可以繼續做落去嗰一種人嚟嘅，所以。係咯。
Obliterated. Really goes to show how much you've grown up.
明你意思，探索方面冇乜正面嘅回饋啦，可以咁講。玩到中間冇乜想探索落去嘅意欲。都係，唔太頂得順假日。係因為太 confuse 啦，而事實上係即係嗰個 confuse 唔係源於我自己，而係源於隻 game 真係唔同你講咯。
Killing somebody across every iteration of reality just by existing. I don't even know what I would do if I were in the driver's seat with that kind of power. Me too. He was a lot of fun. Really easy to mess with. Yeah, it's complicated. He put us through hell, but he's been part of us since the very beginning, hasn't he? The interior of the cabin is, well, it's not really a cabin, is it? It's that terrifying blend of everything. Only it doesn't feel so terrifying anymore.
The hero, in memory of the narrator, describes the scenario, trying his best to be just like the narrator. This time around, there is no pretense anymore, and the princess knows fully who the protagonist is and what he is here to do. Except this time, she is not bound to any chain anymore, as there is no need for physical restraints any longer. Both entities fully knowing what they are and what they are capable of. At first, resentful yet knowing the protagonist is here to slay her, seeing he has no knife in hand, she is surprised. She asks the protagonist to have a chat before killing her, so maybe they can have some last words before never seeing each other again. Entities that have been together for lifetimes and eternities. While sitting together, the princess explains that they are no longer in the construct and the long quiet. They are in an unfamiliar space unknown to them, and she entertains the possibility if they would leave, it would probably only be them and nothing else. The protagonist explains he never intended to kill her and he always wanted to leave the cabin together with her, but he couldn't accept her killing and destroying the worlds. He only wanted to destroy the multitude or the divine ebb and flow or the shifting mount. She explains that she never intended to kill anyone, it's only
要製造多啲疑點，令到你想探索到最尾先又唔係特別精彩。的確比我想象中冇更加精彩。點講呢？我 expect 嘅可能係我哋出現嘅嘢，例如 let's say 旁白君啊嗰類係可能係操控啊，或者有機會都好咯。即係我 expect 旁白君係一個獨立嘅個體咯。係 係啦，而唔係原來佢都係我嘅一部分咯。所以理想嘅狀態係會令到玩家每次探索有更加接近真相嘅感覺，你覺得？
Within her nature that lives perish with her existence, but nonetheless, she doesn't care. All she cares about is being with the protagonist. She then explains that she feels like herself again, a beautiful and innocent princess, the love of the protagonist, how he perceived her once, and not the powerful and hostile shifting mount. Having the knife in hand alternatively, the princess is more cautious, yet she explains before she dies she would like to speak to the protagonist. She explains if the protagonist wants to help people and the countless lives, he would need to perceive the princess differently. And that way, he might just be able to help them, as the princess is the manifestation of the protagonist's thoughts and becomes exactly what he thinks. On that note, the protagonist says nothing else and takes the princess's hand, helping her stand up, saying that he doesn't want to slay her and he wants to leave the cabin with her. He explains that he never wanted to be a god and just wanted to leave the cabin with her like mortals. And now that they don't know what's really out there, leaving the cabin would mean the people would be safe. Only with the princess and the protagonist stuck in a void together forever. Something that they would like as they are shaped to love each other. The voice of the hero leaves the lovebirds to go on their
與其話喺呢個探索自身死亡嗰啲話題上唔係咁發人心性，不如話係佢過於隱晦咯。我覺得過分地隱晦。當你睇緊呢個解說，都覺得咁隱晦。我覺得睇 game 嘅我哋咧會覺得應該會覺得更加困惑咯。可能設定得到容器會令玩家喺過程當中有成功感，但係個發展迷到唔知發生緊咩事。係喎。
own journey, wishing them well, and that they need to figure out the rest on their own, and that he would be all okay in the cabin, and the rest of the voices will probably accompany him soon. This time around, there is no voice or violence anymore between the princess and the protagonist, and for the first time, the princess is unsure and scared as she doesn't have any role to play any longer, which could mean she is devoid of death now, and she is the damsel the protagonist perceived her as, and loved very much, being herself yet devoid of all violence and death. Both princess and the protagonist say they love each other and would rather be in nothingness and the void, the scariest and worst place, but as long as they are together. That's when they open the door together, stepping into the unknown. This by far seems to be the best ending. However, it is not 100% clear if the princess still carries death with her or not. But by the looks of it, as they were in a different construct and the princess had a more limited shape and form, especially saying that she feels scared like never before, unsure of her role as she doesn't have any other role to play and she is not part of the narrative any longer. It could mean they are in fact going into the unknown territories of the narrative. Something that hasn't been written, which could mean they will be in a new reality, foreign to them and everyone else, essentially having a happy ever after, unknown to us, ending just there.
Okay. 就好似之前嗰個哥布林溝仔 game 樣樣都係亂嚟，你玩到最尾連個角色結局都唔想睇。我唔會話佢一隻唔好嘅 game 咯，但係我會話我係玩到有啲困惑咯，都唔係少少困惑，係玩到極度困惑，係幾困惑嘅，我都唔知啊，我都唔知可以講啲咩。其實我諗咧，我啱先應該係開咗個 ending 噶，即係我諗我應該係有得開個 ending 咯，又或者咁講。但係我唔 sure 我開咗咩 ending， 或者不如我開翻隻 game 先。我諗緊嗰樣嘢係，不如我哋開隻 game， 我哋睇下我到咗 ending 未？如果我到咗 ending 嘅話，咁我可以我睇下試下我哋開到咩 ending 啊？睇下佢係點啊！我唔知啊，我其實好迷啊，我都迷迷地嘅，但係可能隻 game 本身就係預你係會迷咯，我唔知啊。我唔想搞高咗佢。
You're on a path in the woods.
嗱，我哋試
And
埋
at the
今
end of
次啊，
that
好冇？
path is
我
a
哋睇下，
cabin. You're here to slay
我
her.
哋睇下到底，如果我哋係咯，我哋轉身離開。
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? There won't be a new dawn if the world ends. There'll just be nothing
係
forever.
咪要去到爛 game？可能隻 game 本身想做到嘅效果就係要你不斷思考人生，係咯。
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Ignore that annoying
Right,
little
don't
voice.
I?
He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. You're really
Ôi,
keen
lì
on
hối đó
wasting
chị hả?
everyone's time, aren't you?
我唔記得咗。
When I said everyone, and last I checked, you're part of everyone too. So if you think about it, but fine, you turn around and trek back down the path. Would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or
我唔
astrology,
記得
but
咗
I
係喎，
have-
好似呢一度係咪都會過去？
There's always a choice. We can't just go through with this and listen to him.
Oh.
She's a princess.
係咪可以頂住啊？攞張台嚟。
The interior of the cabin is almost a blade is your implement.
唔係喎，冇得攞張台頂住喎。
The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice
Hello?
is, don't let it.
Okay.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She's beautiful. I am begging you to stay focused.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
真係喎，唔係我試下係背叛佢嗰個過程啦。
You're only making this.
Thank you.
You're making a no. You're doing the right. You walk up to the chains. They're large and heavy.
I'm guessing.
咪
嗱，
Maybe
呢
it's
個我哋
doubtful.
玩過啦。
Okay.
You attempt to make your way. Someone else.
係喎，呢一個唔得
You
喎。
make your way easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam.
There's a slight.
If I could just get.
She barely. As she
Oh,
rips
okay.
her flesh. It's the or you won't.
好，呢一個我哋拯救先。
Against you cut. The blade is shut. She
如
didn't
果我
know.
係唔反抗
How
咧，
is she?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No. We as the print. Wait. Watch me. Okay. You bring the blade down to. But she's fast.
We could have gotten out of here together. Were you just lying to me this whole
哎有啦
time?
有啦，
I don't know what's come over you. But if I have to kill you, then I'll kill you. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that?
She pounces on you with the same animal, but you have a weapon. It's not enough to stop her. You feel her claws in your throat, then her teeth. You collapse to the floor, your body unresponsive as your blood pools on the ground beneath you. If we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict
Okay.
will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, it can't just. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone, everything goes
Okay.
dark.
我覺得個旁白都好狗咯。The Witch 啦，嚟
You're
到啦
on a
嚟到啦。
path in the woods. You're here to slay her.
我哋今次
She will lie. Don't worry.
投機的聲音喎。
The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of
等陣先，我
knotted
試下
wood
今次我要令到佢
almost
內
as if
疚
by
啊！
accident just happens to
我哋呢
resemble
條
a
女搞到
room.
我內疚咗好
The
多次，我
blade
決
is your
定。
implement.
It's your turn。我係咪要
You
攞起
take
個
the
地
blade from. Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, that's not. The door to the basement creaks open,
最
revealing
緊
a
要係揀咩都
staircase
差唔
dug
多，
into the
又
muddy
唔
earth
係嘅。
below.
其實睇到個公
The
主會
ceiling
唔
is
同
thick
咗
with
係有
roots
有
that
少少
hang
唔
like
同。
locks of
不過
tangled hair.
啊，我明白，我哋覺得差個位喺邊度啦，就係感覺我哋做咩都冇後果啊。有啦，係啊，即係就好似 Undertale 咁。如果你選擇咗去殺 even 一隻嘢啊， 你成場 game 你就已經係去唔到個 good end 㗎啦嘛。而家呢個我冇呢一種感覺啦，即係我唔需要玩得好小心，我唔需要話啊我一直都唔殺得，我想要一個好嘅 ending，我乜都唔做得咁樣。即係又或者係我冇呢啲話咩可能屠殺結果，我見到個工作我殺佢，我見佢一次殺佢一次咁樣，即係我冇任何後果。我 expect 嘅可能係即係咁講咯，我玩呢一類嘅文本 game 啦，我 expect 可能係如果我次次我都唔殺個公主，我 expect 可能係會去到最終係 good end 嘅，係啦，又或者係我可能一時殺一時唔殺，我可能會去一個普通 end， 或者係我如果每一次我見到工作我都殺死佢。然後我就會去一個好差嘅 end 啦，即係我 expect 嘅會係我嘅選擇會帶嚟唔同嘅後果咯，而唔係我無論係咩選擇都係咁嘅，即係而唔係我無論係咩選擇都係咁嘅樣咯。不停，其實我覺得不停 read 唔係太大問題，反而係我嗰個 option 冇令到我產生有個後果，令到我冇心機玩咯。
If her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path.
呢隻係你諗住懟佢，佢又唔俾你懟死佢，唔殺佢，突然間又逼你殺佢。係，唔係？但係就算係咁都好啦。
You can't.
唔係，就算係咁樣都好啦，即係我都會覺得，總之就係我覺得嗰個令到我覺得冇咁好玩嘅地方係在於，佢令到我冇後果咯。我冇任何後果，我殺咗佢，我有啲咩後果？我冇後果嘅喎，你諗下。
Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? You need to stop lingering. Your task. Fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom.
And there you are, one hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that
That's no fair. How would she know that?
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
She's acting. Oh, that's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. Do you remember us then? Do you remember last time?
解説佢就算第二次喺你殺佢之前身上面有刀，好似都冇後果，再下一次都係新劇本。其他 game 有慾望俾你探索結局，但係呢隻冇。係即係最主要係咁講咯。我做嘅選擇感覺上啊，唔係太影響佢個走向咯。即係我殺公主定唔殺公主，佢唔會令到個結局有啲咩好大嘅變化咯。
But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality. Even I'm just glad we is it Orba? Just focus on the task. Let's chatter. Don't talk to her.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Oh, smart. Let's.
Oh, you're sorry. Isn't that... If you're sorry, then let me...
Okay.
You can't be serious.
Sammy 嘅參與性只係撳掣決定邊個劇本出現先，係，即係主要就係啦，嗰個位就係在於我覺得我冇乜參與感咯。
We should put this to a vote. As do I. Abstain.
最黑人真係咁旁白設定，還好嘅我又文本 game 係要有呢啲旁白嘅，OK 嘅。其實我覺得佢啲配音做得幾好嘅。唔走民主路線。
You're going to get everyone killed. You know that, right? You toss the blade at the princess's feet. She eyes it with suspicion before kneeling down to pick it up.
I wouldn't have done that. Why did you?
You hear a clanging of metal against the dirt floor, and she could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart. It's a shame we just gave her a weapon, because if I were her, I'd use it on us right now. Luckily for us, you're... Oh, we sure think alike, though. She creeps forward, taking one caution.
What do you think happens now?
Well...
her shoulders tense and her eyes dark.
This is another trick. You're trying to sow doubt, but it's not going to work on me.
個公主講大味。
And then she buries the blade in your heart. What? No. No, come on, that's not right. I told you. I told you. Glee dances across her face as you fall to the ground.
I did it. I got you. You.
The princess seems to tremble, her smile fading quickly, replaced with concern. Her nervous eyes brim with tears.
Why? Why did you let me do this?
But you don't have the strength to respond, nor do you have the time. Everything goes dark, and you die.
個旁白有啲對話雖然好似多餘，但係我覺得佢把聲叫啲，你覺得好旁
You're
白
on a path in the woods. I can't believe she actually stabbed us. I told you not to give her. Yeah, we know. I just wanted to make sure that
Oh, you're far from being on the right side of anything.
公主嘅正嘅話。
a visionary. Gladly, my dear fellow, by cruelly turning on the princess in her moment
哎呀，呢個
of
痴情嘅
vulnerability,
聲音又出
we
現
made
啦。
ourselves an... I like journeys. Travelling is, well, if we're lucky, she hates us. Does she? She hesitated before stabbing us to death. Maybe she won't be as keen to betray us this time. We've already proven to her that we can change. So maybe she'll realise that things don't have to end in violence. You know, maybe you're right. In which... Give what another try exactly?
It makes no difference if we conspire in the shadow.
Oh, are you now? Great. So you've obviously been here before, since you apparently died at least twice, actually. Sure. Twice. It isn't long before you find yourself at the base of the cabin. I don't know if I'd say everyone. Are you talking about me? I have a position. It's a good one, too. Ignore him, he's just talking for talking's sake. My position is the only one that matters. The princess is... The interior of the cabin is hardly an interior at all anymore. The burned-out ruins merely suggest the shape of the structure that once stood here, charred wood still reeking of ash. But beneath it lies the fresh smell of spring growth. The only furniture of note is the crisp shell of what was once a table. We gave it to her last time. She can't still have it, can she? Well, it's not here. Let me guess. You look. As far as I see it, if it's between him and her, I say we side. I wouldn't be so hasty. I'm sure the blade will turn up somewhere. She can't have it. That's not how this is supposed to... If she does have it, that's all. Unless her heart tells her to stab us, You step... You know what... You reach forward and wave your hand through the hollow entrance. Alas, our fine feet... Well, seems... Yes, that's where... You step through the frame of scorched wood and make your way into the... The stairs to the basement are covered in a fine layer of gritty ash. The air still feels warm, as if the fires that ruined this place had only recently been extinguished. Yet fresh shoots of thorny branches are already weaving themselves through the soot-covered earth of the walls around you.
有嘅問題就係嗰個後果唔夠嚴重咯，個參與感唔夠高咯。但係其實我對隻 game 唔係太過唔滿意。佢唯一令到我真係最唔滿意就係個參與感太低咯。
Their spines point courteously down towards the basement, so you're able to brush past their jagged points with ease, at least on the way down. These thorns are an expression of her pain. I know it. Her voice, worn down by...
I can't get away from you, can I? You betray me, I kill you, and you come back. You let me kill you, and you come back. I don't know why you let me do that. I don't know what you want from me. I think you know how this goes. I'm down here, and I can't leave.
You continue down the basement stairs, brushing past the smooth edges of thorns that grow more and more plentiful as you make your way
控制呢啲選擇，我反而覺得 OK 啊。冇後果呢一樣嘢係我唔 OK 咯，因為玩任何 game 我都覺得係需要後果。你就好似玩 Even 玩 Dark Souls 咁啫嘛。Even 玩 Dark Souls， 你可能同你可能殺咗某一個角色嘅，令到佢嗰邊嘅劇情會冇咗嘅，或者係推進唔到嘅，即係或者係會開唔到一個 ending 嘅。咁呢個就係我想要嘅後果咯，係啦。 但係呢一度就係我無論玩啲咩啦，我係最
You
尾
step
嗰下
out
先
into what
揀
was
咯，
once
感
a
覺上
vast
係，唔
open
係依家
cavern,
開始揀
now
咯。
overrun by briars and prickles and thistles, the space thick with hostile vegetation. At the heart of it all, encased in a tight weave of vines,
好
is the
慘啊，個公
princess.
主。
Did you know this was going to happen to me? Are you here to watch me suffer? Are you here to laugh?
有後果夾硬佔用你啲時間。Well，
I want to trust you.
Her grip tightens on the blade.
But you're hiding something, aren't you? Why would you help me if you weren't helping yourself?
望自由嘅人唔係你，我諗我哋要一齊離開先得。
The princess clutches the blade closer to her chest.
That sounds nice. I'm so tired of the bad blood between us. But it's hard to let it go. You've hurt
哎
me.
呦，個旁白比較似係現實中不停控制你左右你嘅聲音。
Her eyes dart away from yours for a brief moment.
And I've also hurt you.
Her eyes briefly meet yours, then dart back.
Okay.
OK，
You reach towards her bloodied hands, laying your... For a moment, she clutches it even tighter, her knuckles going white with the effort. But then the tension fades. Her grip finally loosens and she allows you to take the weapon. You carefully pull it free from the thorns, though they scrape at your skin, leaving red trickles of fresh blood all along your arms.
She trusts us.
Yeah, a little.
Oh.
It could just be nerves. Being this close to her
我覺得
does
旁
bring
白反
back
而會唔知
unpleasant
自己想
memories,
做
but
咩。
We are special to have gained an ounce of trust from a maiden.
yeah, let's do it.
Or, hear me out.
Okay.
That sounds like a splendid idea. I see that the is to a you don't count.
哎呀，哦，係咪旁白
and why
啊？
shouldn't he count?
Ah.
Because he's clearly not one of us. That doesn't matter. He's been with us
旁
the
白
whole
唔
time.
係
He
咁，
should
呢一
get a
紮
say.
聲都係我嚟㗎，唔係咩？
So, did you mean it? Or was I a fool to hand my life to you?
Yes. What a good idea. Oh, so you're suddenly team free her. You can't just
投機
switch
嘅聲
sides
音
as soon
係
as
喎，
we
真係
make a
投機
decision.
喎
I can
佢。
do whatever I want, and I believe with my whole heart that this is. Everyone deserves a chance at redemption. That's right. We've already given. Who says I don't deserve? And I have
誒
no.
旁白好似唔見
That
咗
take
人
the
咯喎。
blade to the thorny vines imprisoning the princess, and she flinches, relaxing only slightly as the
Eh,
blade
che mi
slices
sono
into
ora
the
i
thick
gang.
vegetation rather than she flinches again as the last of the vines is cut away, as if, after all of that, she's still expecting you to turn on her and stab her in the heart. But you're not going to do that, are you? Still,
Well, it's such a pathetic attempt at distraction and subterfuge.
you're
投
right.
機。
He can't even make it slip, can he? He's a bit of a nobody. Good thing I've been on your side of all. The princess falls into your arms, tears streaking down her
Cioè,
cheeks.
comunque
I
che
can't
Lena-
believe you're making me describe this. I hate you.
You actually meant it. You rescued me.
Do you
Yep.
see the way she's looking at us? Kiss her. Kiss her now before the moment ends.
吓，錫佢咁突然？
She smiles, her hand slipping into
唔使
yours.
錫
and
啦，
the two
咁
of
突然，
you
黐線
rush to
㗎。
the basement stairs.
嗱，啲性騷擾咪就係咁嚟嘅咯。
You should have kissed her, you fool.
Shameful, really, that the same thorns that so graciously allowed you downstairs are now blocking your only way out.
Please, after all the trials we've been through,
We cut through those other vines just fine. They're only... I'm not even sure we need to do any cutting. We can just move them.
A few pointy sticks can't keep us down here. We're both meant for so much more than this.
For real。
As you swing your blade into the thorns covering the basement stair, both you and the princess ascend the stairs without obstacle. This is unacceptable. The second you step out of this cabin with her, the world ends. Do you hear me? What did the world ever do to you to deserve this? Your nightmare is our dream. Whatever world will weave something new to you and the princess hesitate at the cabin door. This is your last chance. We've already made our decision.
Finally living here together, aren't we? And all we had to do was trust each other. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad we finally could.
Hands clasped, the two of you open the door and step out into a new day, you irredeemable murderers.
What do we do now? Where's everything going? Why is it so cold?
我哋有得睇結局咯喎，大家。我會assume love ending。
She's gone. And there's that. This. Yes. If they think.
我分解了喎。
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long. Do you know it will? No, there. It's nice to be with someone who. I'm sorry. Words are.
唔係喎，但係又唔似係有得，又唔似係開到個結局嘅喎。黃百坤其實就係讀 L friend， 見到主角就嚟脱單係咁做就。
The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than any.
厭女嘅讀 L 啊，呢個係。
One, whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me.
哦，要帶多一個軀體啊！
These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart.
我要做
The
多一
next
次
time I
喎。
see you, I will be here, waiting for you.
哦，試多一次就得噶啦喎。
You're on a path. You're here. You are warned. She will. We're not going to ignore.
如果係
The interior of the blade is.
如果我試下第二
Door
次
to the
先殺佢
basement.
咧，
Her voice.
Hello?
唉，但係其實我唔想殺
Besides,
喎。
don't let it fool you.
You must have the wrong address.
Great job. You've given away the element of surprise. Good luck,
呢個係點
hero.
樣咧？
You walk down the stairs and she's beautiful. I am begging you.
Hi. Okay.
That seems like a pretty good compromise.
So you weren't kidding on the stairs. I thought you were just making a bad joke.
Leaving her alive is too. So I'm the only one who likes.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. It would make it easier for both of us if you'd help.
你冇 BGM 喎。
But if you don't, I can promise that you'll regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. I know you think this is some kind of fair compromise, but it isn't.
試下咯，
No one
試下咯，
wins
一齊單身嗰啲兄弟姐未到厭女。
It's a chance we'll have to
唔
take.
係喎，佢要懟
We can make this
喎，
work if
佢
we
要
just
懟
stay here
喎，
and keep
懟容
watch.
不依嘛。
No one has to die.
Where are you going?
You can't just leave me here.
呢個女又係偏執咗少少嘅。
You turn your back to the princess.
Fine. Turn your back on me. But it won't be long before I slip these chains.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. Either way, she dropped the mask. It'll be the death of all of us, but fine.
Okay.
We'll do it your way. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue.
有少少似網上嗰啲心理測
Sleep
驗，
doesn't come.
但係
Instead,
唔係，但係就係唔似啊，
You make things easier on yourself and let me
就係唔似啊，唔似啊。你網上面嗰啲心理測試，你做完，你唔同嘅選擇有唔同嘅結果，但係呢度唔係咯。
very long anyway.
she sounds
呢度唔算係咯，起碼。
like she's less of the princess you saw and more like as she violently rattled.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart in peace. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's... No. Just ignore her. Maybe the banging and wailing will stop. You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but it isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest.
I'd say better luck next time, but we both know this is the end. Don't.
It can't be. This can't act. I'm sorry. Everything goes dark.
哎呦，我死咗啦！佢似每個月運程嗰啲，你可以做就係揾翻自己個星座，然後睇啊，有
You're
啲
on a
似。
path in the
對，咪
woods.
就係咩得翻唯一一個俾人收走嘅好結局。高布林中意第二
And in
個
the
佢一
basement
樣
of
會
that
到。
cabin is a princess. You're here
但係
to
又咁
slay
講
her.
喎，如果我哋 friendly 嘅話，佢
If
就
you
會
don't,
變得
it will
可
be
愛。
the end of the world.
啲和平應對方法試晒都係冇用，冇啊乜，唉冇啊！佢呢一隻 game 咧，真係我覺得唯一咗個差嘅感覺就係真係嗰個參與感唔夠啊。
A warning before you go any further.
I mean 兩者嘅揾法同埋 purpose 都係引導你思考同埋發掘內心，只係隻 game 唔會同你講個結果，又或者係講咗結局你都唔明。但係又咁講啊，因為我覺得引導思考呢一件事咧，本身就係一樣好容易嘅事咯。即係點講好咧？你要去引導思
She
考，
will
我
lie,
唔知啊。
she
誒，
will
即係
cheat,
隻 game。
and she will do
我覺得
everything
佢
in
可
her.
以
I
做
don't
得
think
好
lying
啲
and
啊，
cheating is a
但
thing. She
係
was
我會覺得
very
係得
direct with
意
us
嘅，
last
起碼我而
time.
家仲玩
Or
緊。
at least she was direct with us after we decided. It doesn't matter. Don't trust
哎呀
anyone.
game 喎，變得可愛，跟住俾人收
The
翻。酷啊！
interior of the cabin is plain. The smooth wood of the wall. The blade is your implement. Hold on. It's just an empty frame. She's already gotten out, hasn't she? I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. So deep breath in.
Deep breath in， 直接
Oh,
入
we
去
should
咯
have。taken the knife. I don't think going down there unarmed is... You cross over the... More eyes, too. You never mention the eyes. The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh... Her cruel...
I didn't think you'd come back.
Come back. She must have you confused with someone else. You really don't remember, do you?
踏入，誒可以去控喎，會點啊？
You attempt to step off the stairs and into the
Okay.
pitch black surrounding them, but you're stopped by an invisible force. Why did you do that? What did you think would happen? You make your way to the bottom. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose ropes. She could be anywhere.
Oh,
Are you really
I
not gonna... No, I'm not. Excuse me. We're going to... Please.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you.
You turn back to the faintly...
There you are.
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb.
瞬間入麻
Your
麻咧
arms quickly follow. This is it.
It's almost like
There has to be a... What did you do?
I wonder how many times I'll get to.
Your vision cuts out as your blood begins to coagulate. It's as if every part of your being... Heart.
哎呦
Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back
Okay.
open. What are you doing? I'm working. And then experience... Okay, whatever you were doing. You sure about that? You have seconds left. Yes, I'm sure. Heart. Lung. Again, your eyes...
Can't decide what you want to do. Oh well. Standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead.
She isn't attacking us. The why doesn't. How are we supposed to do that? That isn't my fault. It doesn't matter whose fault it is because
瞬
fighting
間劇
her
情先後
isn't
整
an
成
option,
game
right?
好似冇套完整套電影咁好，
Then you should get
係
liver, nerves,
咪應該咁講咯？
lungs,
咪應該咁講咯？呢一個
lungs,
嗱，應該咁講。
nerves.
我會覺得係，如果你唔係一隻有真係我嘅選擇係會極度影響結局嘅話，你就唔好整做係有得俾我揀嘅 game。我寧願你就係一個真係同我講係一隻劇情 game，而唔係好似我不停揀嘅 game 咯。我唔知你哋理唔理解，即係有啲 game 都未必有好多結局㗎，係咪先？即係你就好似就好似 Resident Evil 咁啊，即係當然 Resident Evil 都會有唔同嘅結局啦，但係佢都係主要係跟翻個劇情嚟行噶嘛。咁我覺得呢一係你係跟劇情嚟行，唔好俾我有咁多揀啦。即係因為可能我嘅期待上有錯誤咯，有得揀同但係冇分別，咁你揀嚟做咩？係啦，即係我而家就算揀咗話一齊走啦。咁但係其實對個結真係最終嘅結局係冇影響。
No, I'm not going to let this happen. Before you can utter another word, your body stops moving, and do you think you could just
係啦 ，Detroit Become Human 呢一類咧係擺得明有得揀，咁佢又真係會影響結局咧，咁我就會覺得好玩啦，係啦，我就會覺得好玩啦。
Just make it end faster.
結局無差別，對於台主大家都好恐怖。我唔覺得
With a
恐怖
flick of the princess's wrist, the stairs slide.
OK，
Come along now. You don't want to be stuck down here.
The princess glides onto the stairs and back, but we don't. Nerves. We can still grab it on the way out. You're not wrong, but maybe... Heart. Lungs. Is this... At least it's a choice. That doesn't justify anything.
Make sure you keep
我
up.
突然間有少少想話翻 Detroit Become Human 添。
As if acting on instinct, you crane your neck and look behind you. There is the princess reaches the top of the stairs and her head twists back in your direction. Don't forget that your pristine blade is still... There's no harm in us having a weapon. Have you considered that maybe you could operate the autonomic nervous system for a bit? Heart. Your body seizes violently as you regain consciousness on the floor. No! You're doing it all wrong. I guess I have to do hard.
There we go. Back with me where you belong. I thought you might have decided to break yourself just to spite me. Now we can get back to business.
The princess plucks the blade from the floor and tosses it through the door behind you. Guess we're not stabbing her in the back. I guess not. I'm going to fix myself a stiff drink. If I'm about to watch you hand the world to her on a silver platter.
And now you open the
再睇
door.
下嘅，其實我有諗過
There's
可
nothing
能
else for us to do.
呢一個香港翻嚟之後，可能同大家開 Stalker 2咯，但係唔知再諗下先。
The doorknob twists in your hand.
It's
Okay.
so beautiful. But it's so cold too.
我呢個係直接攞走佢㗎。
Why is it so cold?
我 OK， 有冇玩過啊 Way Out？ 可以同 Stella 玩下。好過分，花姐，你好過分，認真好過分。你可唔可以自己檢討下先？認真嘅， 你自己檢討下有冇得啦嚇？
Is that a
自己檢討下。你真係自己檢討下，花姐嚇。我冇乜嘢想講。
This doesn't feel calling.
係點啊？依家我一點也不剩喎，真係好差真係喎。我冇啊，我冇撳到㗎。
I think you know.
烏鴉喎。有冇玩過 Epic 都可以同小人玩下？你自己都去檢討下咩 feel？ 去檢討下，同唔同人玩有唔同樂趣。你係問我有冇玩過啊？你係問我有冇玩過？
We've already crossed the point of no return. There's no saving me now. It doesn't hurt. I'm an echo, likely one of many. No, I'm not a part. From one vantage point I must seem wholly foreign, but from another, well, all the versions of me that have existed have collectively heard your every thought and driven your every action. If that isn't being part of you, then
有人撳門鐘
what
啊！
is?
大家，你等我等啊，我行開一陣。係啊，唔係黑人，唔係啊，係因為咧都人架車拎咗去整啊，咁然後我哋出唔到去買餸，所以我哋 online 買餸，佢今日嘅3至4點嚟，係，哇，今日好好太陽喎。
A construct. It was supposed to keep the two of you trapped here until the job was done. And it was supposed to guide your hand to help you see things through.
但我想講咧，好大鑊啊！話說咁 Dyson 佢入面有啲配件可以洗啊嘛，但我洗咗一個唔 suppose 可以洗嘅配件咯。跟住依家因為之前放工緊佢啦，即係未試啊！我轉頭要開嚟試一試啦，睇下我有冇整壞嗰個 Dyson。
The construct you're in exists in every world at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, but you're waking up to your true nature now.
係因為咧，之前即係點講咧？因為之前我哋唔係話清咗成間屋嘅，咁因為清成間屋咧，超級大塵啦，又多狗毛啦，咁我哋諗住就清一次嗰個Dyson 咁樣，所以拎咗一啲可以洗嘅配件去洗，咁但係咧就有一個配件就後尾睇翻咧，即係佢個官網咧就咁樣寫嘅，佢話 strongly recommend not using through the water 係啦，咁佢係 strongly recommend 嘅啫，咁我而家看光咗，其實我就覺得 it's alright I think I think it's alright.
You're the long quiet.
Long
the god
quiet.
I made to rid the world of death.
哦 long quiet 是翻10個係人係啦，未去到禁止應該得嘅，係啦，唔係同埋我諗應該完全晾乾應該得嘅，我諗係啦。
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can.
大家你等一等啊，我哋嗰個 online 買 order 啊嘛。 嗱，佢俾漏咗，你 report 翻得，我開緊台啊，同 Best Before 一樣 recommend 咧唔係 sure， 係啊，我就係諗緊佢
So
recommend
I
應該可以
tucked a part
嘅
of myself into the
應該
folds
可
of
以
this
嘅應
construct
該。
to guard. This isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone. You were made to do this single task, and you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone. Yes, you will, but it will all be worth it.
我係去到呢一度先揀咯。
The inevitability of death is torture. I would gladly put two
Okay.
infinite beings through what you've been through to spare infinite lives from oblivion. Light, burdenless, an eternal pattern of forgetfulness leading into the joys of There's a cruel irony to it all. The only way I could share my dream with the
老
world
師又有男人喺
is
隔
to
離
never。be able to see it for myself.
係啊，就係知你有呢咩蠢女人先會整到有防水彈筆多。我唔知你講咩。提問就此結束咯喎。
Well, there's no reasoning with a god. Even one you've woven into existence yourself. It's like I said, I'm just an echo.
今日有冇會員台？今日冇，聽日啊。
I can finally see you. And it's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly. Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call
你
me
即係
the
嗰個係同學
shifting
會員
mound,
台咪睇叻咕叻
the
咕
pale
啊，或者
imitation
金
of
雞
what
都
I
唔得啊，
actually am.
金雞有冇得諗啊？或者
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my
但死運
multitude.
行在諸我中。OK，
So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you
不嬲唔
open
拉
the
永生
final
嘅
doors to our liberation?
金雞3咯，可以睇。
If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But violence and passion are dances that both of us know
嚇！
well.
但喂，a minute，
If
嚇！
this is what it takes to enlighten you,
定係呢個係
then
love
so
ending？
be it.
Fear that pretends to protect us from loss. To fear death protects from losing a body. To fear ruin protects from losing status. To fear rejection, but losing a body is contained within having a body. Losing status is contained within having status. It is in the nature of all things to dread, but when the ceaseless impermanence of all things strips away the finality of endings, you took fear by the hand and walked with it into the unknown.
但係 Anna，我唔知喎。追溯你們共同的人性，你提到生死改變停滯，但係重點根本唔喺度，反抗佢權威，主張你嘅OK， 主張你嘅獨立。我不認同暴力。
But violence has defined the flood of everything between us. thought is a vine, and some thoughts nurture thorns that bleed the soul. And when I succumbed to myself, you patiently stood by me and cut the thistles that rooted in my skin. Your compassion is what freed us both. But compassion is a thing that must be nurtured, and you cannot nurture that which cannot change.
我哋超越死亡，拯救嗰啲死亡俘虜係我哋嘅責任。
What you mistake for lecture is merely you can vainly struggle against me, or you can follow the rhythm of our. Your left arm takes a stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to let the stakes
呢個開心 ending， 呢個開心公主佢都有得説教。
And you set that desire free, you lifting me and me lifting you, forever and ever and ever. Consumed by true belief, there was
相對嚟講唔
nothing
算
that
啲
could
咩，
hold
你
us
當時
back.
保持願望，釋放願望，你提升咗我，提升你永不止息。你真正嘅信念吞沒，再冇事物可以阻擋我哋。我可唔可以 agree 啊？
Then there's no need for you to fight with the now. Whenever you're ready, you can.
咁佢就會點啊？
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear
咁佢
those
就會點啊？
words. The final peace lies with you.
點樣釋放自由啊？其實我唔知我做緊啲咩喎，我覺得佢個終極我唔識講喎。古生物嘅軀體從冬眠甦醒，你嘅四肢出現你之前冇辦法理解嘅感覺。呢個天地全部都係你，除咗佢之外，你感受到你嘅雙翼橫跨呢個宇宙，但係扭曲而就縮喺痛苦嘅緊張中被束縛喺一個有限嘅平面。你感受到嚟自構想嘅玻璃序幕喺度壓迫，並以無限嘅面同埋角度緊束你，於是推擠反抗。 但係序幕寸步不讓。
I love you.
Oh my god！ Oh eternity，
It's magnificent.
It's magnificent。 儘管衝突係你哋嘅本性，你同佢絕對唔會孤單，更加唔會恐懼。你同佢終於都回家了。唔係喎。但係呢一隻 game，我覺得最抵讚嘅呢一隻 game 係佢個配音真係做得好好咯。再見公主。 就係你哋譯㗎，唉，其實佢哋唔係話譯得唔好嘅，但係咧太有啲 terms， 你就算係中文都好，都太深啦，真係 get 唔到咯。 我諗都冇乜嘢再探究，因為好似上天堂呢一隻 game 係講咩 ？That's a really good question。呢一隻 game 係一隻愛情故事 ，OK？ 冇啊，其實我真係覺得佢又唔係話做得唔好嘅，但係真係有少少難理解咯。咩叻哥係每年新年必睇，聽日再決定咯。但係我就係一個簡單問題，聽日 CKC 係咪喺度？我唔覺得我聽日會播到，我放棄掙扎啦，大家，我放棄掙扎啦，我唔覺得聽日我會播到咯。所以簡單地講，自己殺自己。其實唔係自己殺自己。我覺得比較似係你有揀成全其他人類，定係你要一個唔完美，但係係咯，唔完美有缺陷，但係唔孤單嘅世界咯，冇啦係。不過算啦，我覺得 well OK 啦，陪喺度。因為我放棄掙扎啦，我唔覺得我有機會，我唔覺得我會播我唔覺得我會播到咯，所以係我覺得直接放棄掙扎，揾你幫拖會好啲。係啊，問超人都可以考慮下。都得嘅，可以。唔係，我哋到時再睇下，我哋聽日再睇下睇呢個叻咕定係睇金雞咯。如果金雞就可能睇金雞3，你冇專心睇頭好似冇乜損失咁。係冇乜損失嘅。我想講我耳鳴得好緊要，唔知點解。呢一隻 game，其實我覺得呢一隻 game 唔係話差，但係我覺得如果佢係以另外一種方式存在，或者另外一種方式去表達會好啲咯，或者可能佢個故事唔係咁樣嘅話，我諗我會中意多啲。係啦，即係假設佢個故事係真係關於佢同埋個公主，而唔會賴到佢成個世界咁大嘅話咧，可能我會中意多啲咯。但係現實中就係佢係現實中就係佢係講緊成個世界嘅嘢咯。而我睇到有啲，我又唔可以話睇到好迷，但係我覺得係佢嗰個發展係令到我冇興趣想了解咯。係啦。係啦，因為突然間由一啲好細嘅嘢去到太宏觀啦，所以我會我唔係太有興趣去了解咯。係啦，細個第一次睇金雞睇到好震撼，我唔知點解我想睇翻金雞3啊！我突然間金雞3，金雞 SSS 啊，係嘛？係啊，我想睇呢個金雞 SSS 啊，係啊，我想睇金雞 SSS 啊，聽日不如就睇呢一套啦。唔係，prioritize，大家唔通我聽日我真係有機會可以播到喎？唔知啦，唔係應該唔得，算啦，就算啦。明佢想做啲咩，但係方法唔係最好，係啊，金雞馬拉松好，有馬拉松唔得。唔得啦，唔馬拉松，我就嚟翻香港啦，我好忙啊！呢排我要準備定去執嘢啊，跟住聽日唔會馬拉松噶啦，因為呢一排咧我冇出片啦，即係雖然本身都話有即係我尋日都話呢一排唔會出片咁啦，但係我尋晚其實我一直喺度睇緊嗰啲，即係都係喺度諗緊題材啦。然後我突然間有少少扎醒，即係又唔可以話扎醒嘅，但係突然間有少少醒醒，又開始諗咧，就係我又翻返去嗰個輪迴啦，大家，我又翻返去嗰個。我又翻返去嗰個，哎呀死啦，好驚拍咗出嚟講某啲題材即係大家冇興趣嘅嗰個輪迴，所以我決定咗呢兩日我真係我要唔得，我決定咗我要逼自己拍，因為我一開始話要降低剪片嗰個 effort 就係為咗要希望我唔好每條片擺咁多 effort 落去，但係同時間亦都唔好咁畏首畏尾啊嘛。結果我依家咧又陷入咗個輪迴，就係點算咧？好唔好拍咧？好唔好講呢個咧？但係我驚冇人想知喎咁樣，係啦。但係諗一下，唔得 ，no， 唔得，我唔可以俾自己陷入呢個輪迴，唔驚，係啦，即係唔可以有驚過啊，唔可以有驚過，所以我後尾我諗一下，唔得，都係要，因為其實我唔係冇嘢講咯，其實我有好多話題可以講咯。即係我可以同大家講下，即係雖然我仲未揀定啦，但係其實呢排真係好多嘢講。即係英國有一單之前報 即係之前英國有一段時間咪有示威暴動嗰啲嘅，咁然後嗰一單導致到英國示威暴動嗰單嘢咧，就已經出咗爐啦。即係佢哋嗰個起因即係點解會搞到英國示威暴動嗰單嘢，終於都係即係叫做有新進展啦，咁樣講啦，係啦。咁然後之前我好中意睇嘅一個 channel 叫 Daily Wire， 佢哋之前有 gossip 啊，嗰個 gossip 又有啲新嘅進展，嗰個 gossip 我係未講過嘅。係啦，咁然後即係其實呢一排更加唔好講，就係話可能呢個 Ubisoft 嘅黑人刺客出咗，跟住又其實好多嘢講啦，即係跳舞室殺，係啊殺細路嗰個，係嗰單嘢有進展啊，嗰單嘢嗰個兇手公開咗個樣咯。係啦，因為之前咧個兇手佢未成年啊，佢犯案嗰陣，所以就冇公開到個樣嗰啲啦。咁主要就係啦，即係我應該會講呢一單，但係我轉頭我就要收台去做 data research 咁樣咯。係啦，咁所以我就係覺得唔得，我又陷入咗個輪迴啦。因為我成日都係咁，我唔係冇題材咯，我係有題材，但係我又驚咯。咁我驚咩啫？我唔可以驚，唔驚得係啦。咁所以咧，我決定咗呢一個。係啦，我決定咗，我一定要逼自己拍，但係我咧要做下 data research 我未做完 research， 我做完 research 嘅話我就拍啦，好唔好？我拍英國嗰單咯，好唔好？我拍英國嗰單咯，我應該呢2日內會出片噶啦。如果我今晚做 data research， 我應該收台就可以做嘅。其實係啦，我收台應該會開部大神睇有冇壞到，如果壞咗應該要寄翻去整咯。係啦，我應該會要睇下部大神有冇壞到，跟住我就會開始做 data research 噶啦。有咩咁驚咁腫嘅樣都拍到片？其實都係咯，所以我唔可以有驚啊，唔可以有驚，我又驚啊，所以我真係唔可以咁少拍片噶，因為我一太少拍片咧，我隔一段時間拍咧，我就會突然間怯噶啦，我都唔知自己怯乜，係咪先？係啦，所以係啦，連跳舞都出咗，其實我覺得有一部分係可能呢一個跳舞令到我非常之打擊我自信啊。唔知啦，好啦，主要就係咁樣啦，所以聽日我唔會同你哋馬拉松啦，即係當然如果你哋話你哋自己想馬拉松冇所謂嘅，但係我想睇 SSS 咯，即係我想睇呢個金雞 SSS 咯，係啦，所以你哋馬拉松咧係你哋嘅事，係啦，即係如果可以我都會留喺個 call 度嘅，但係我如果去拍片嘅話我就會走咯，係啦，或者如果我剪片我就會走咁樣咯，係啦，咁仲有啲咩想講咧？係，仲有講埋就係聽日我哋會員台，我哋9點開始，咁我唔開台啦，因為我哋都係呢一個即係始終我哋都係呢一個嘅即係始終我哋都係 Discord 睇戲啦，咁所以聽日咧我就直接唔開台，我哋直接喺 DC 嗰度等，咁 DC 就大家去翻主台嗰邊揾條 link 啦，如果未入嘅話。唔係呢邊嘅會員台，係嗰邊嘅會員台，就係咁樣啦。跳完舞開始懷疑人生，有啲我覺得就係咁樣咯。邊度跌低，邊度再跌低，跳多幾次冇事。你知唔知咧？我咧出咗嗰條跳舞嘅 reels 之後咧，有，等我望下先，有幾十個人 unfollow 咗我，即刻 IG。冇人話我，但係我後台睇到人 unfollow 咗，係冇人話 unfollow 啫嘛，笑死我真係，不過冇我都冇得講啲咩，我都冇得講啲咩，我 overall 我呢個 unfollow 係幾多咧？ unfollow 今日幾多號啊？有廿幾個人 unfollow 咗咯，係啦，有20幾個人 unfollow 好衰，唔係，但係其實都正常嘅，因為我都覺得係抖音味濃嘅，起碼唔似我平時會出嘅 style 咯，所以我覺得就算係俾人 unfollow， 其實我都會覺得係一個我都會覺得係正常嘅事嚟咯。係啦，咁所以冇啊，我會盡量出多啲 reels 去冚翻嗰條 reels 噶啦，大家我嚟緊密謀緊，我會出一堆 reels 係然後去冚翻呢個 reels 咯，係啦，係啦，就係咁樣咯，就係咁樣，錢帶嚟嘅代價， 係，但我想講咧，呢個今日同呢個student 嘅屋企人傾完電話嚟啦，然後同佢阿媽傾完電話嚟，跟住佢阿媽話咩啊？佢阿媽話唔錯啊！佢阿媽話唔錯，佢阿媽話唔係呀，都跳得幾好啊咁樣。本身仲以為會笑添，唔係呀都唔錯。佢阿媽咁樣講啊，聽唔聽到啊？阿康多謝你1個月嘅同學仔，多謝。只係抖音啫，唔關條舞事嘅，真係真。下個禮拜 party room 使唔使買水桶同埋垃圾袋？如果你哋買就好，如果你哋買就好啊，好啊，我絕對歡迎你哋買啊！如果你哋買我就唔使買咯，係啦，因為我應該都係翻到香港買。我哋不如咁講啦，我哋喺個 group 度傾下有冇人我覺得水桶其實可以唔使嘅，垃圾袋咯，好唔好？水係咯，唔通話我跳到核突咩？唔係咯，佢會話唔錯就證明係唔錯。我相信 Auntie 份人係誠實嘅 ，OK。好啦，就係咁樣啦，大家我有啲肚餓啦，咁我好啦，咁我都收台先啦。今日哇，呢一隻 game 其實我冇諗過會都玩幾耐喎，好似雖然中間係因為我哋有去睇攻略，但係都 OK。好啦，就係咁樣啦。咁我期望呢兩日內呢兩日內係指26號開始啊！我期待可能睇下聽日可唔可以出到片啦，即係你哋嘅今日啦，係啦，即係你哋嘅過咗12點嘅今日。我期待睇下可唔可以聽日出到片啦，如果可以嘅話，係啦。咁如果出到我盡量出啦。呢兩日我應承大家點都爆條片出嚟，好冇？好冇？呢兩日點都爆條片出嚟，就係咁樣啦。student 媽媽聽到好人，咁係啊。好啦，就係咁樣啦。係喎，過咗 deadline，係。仲有一個冇過數咯，其他過晒數，仲有一個冇過數。咁嗱咁講啦，我應該咧過幾日啦，我會再整合多一條 list 出嚟咧，就係講下邊啲人過咗數，唔係邊啲人過咗數，然後我會講一個出席名單噶啦。咁即係黎小姐嗰啲，我唔會打佢名落去啦。咁係啦，咁但係即係我會講一講出席名單。咁如果大家喺個 group 入邊，但係要即係我到時我會跟住嗰個名單去對名嘅。係啦，我會跟住嗰個名單去對名嘅。咁如果咁多位，你哋係有啲人，如果你哋唔係好 firm，例如話Google Form 嗰度我咪真係交咗錢嘅咧，嗰類啦 ，OK。咁大家不過其實都冇乜嘢，算啦，係啦，就係咁樣啦，係啦，其實都冇乜特別。我到時主要就係我會整好一條 list 啦，咁大家到時入場嘅時候要剔名嘅，係啦，咁我哋係啦，咁就以防有啲人 sneak 入嚟咯，係啦，咁我會係咯，到時對翻咯。黎小姐係已知神秘嘉賓，並不是拍妹見面會。大家台啤有冇話想飲啲咩？你小心唔可以帶咁多酒翻香港喎。我唔知去帶酒入境係有限噶嘛。你自己小心喎呢一個。係啦，就係咁樣咯。係啦，咁花姐入咗 group 噶啦嘛。你都係嗰句，你到時睇狀況。你到時花姐，如果你到時過嚟嘅話咧，你睇下，如果我真係冇望到電話，你睇下會唔會你睇下揾個觀眾係同你聯絡嘅。即係你現場揾個觀眾同你聯絡，如果你過嚟嘅時候，你可能起碼你打個電話又好，即係咯，你或者你可能提嗰個觀眾叫我睇 message 又好，因為我應該唔會睇電話啦，係啦，即係你提嗰個觀眾提我睇 message 話你過嚟又好點都好，係啦，因為始終我又唔知你落機嗰啲點，我又唔知我哋，因為咁講咧，其實我預咧就會超時嘅，但係我又唔 firm 就係話如果我哋嗰日假設真係唔超時咁你過嚟就係咯，即係主要就係你過嚟之前，如果最好嘅話就揾個人係可以直接嗌到我睇 message 或者係可以打電話咁樣就最好咯，係啦，咁樣咯，就係咁樣啦，好啦，我哋有啲咩我哋聽日9點Discord 再傾啦，大家如果隔離係會員嘅話就記得聽日9點鐘去 Discord 啦，就係咁樣啦，好啦，多謝大家收睇啦，我哋聽日見啦，拜拜。我想講咧，我真人揮咗手，我真人揮咗手，拜拜啊！我真係喊出嚟，我真係笑咗，我啱啱真係對住個鏡揮手，跟住我突然間係喎。係喎，今日係Sensei喎。好啦，係咁先啦，拜拜啦，拜拜啦，拜拜啦。